Well, hello everyone, and Happy New Year, and welcome to the first live stream of 2026 on the costumeco channel. And today I have, by the way, we have so much we're going to talk about today. But before I do that, I have my lovely co-host, Jed Rivero. He's super handsome, so I always tell him this. And also, that's why I invite you here. Jed's like, look at your beautiful face.
I'll take it.
No, yeah, no, but also he's an incredibly talented individual. He is a shopper and buyer in film and television, but also I think he has a career ahead of him, possibly as a costume designer, because he has an incredible eye, and that's why I love having you on, Jed. Because like you're just, I look at things in a certain way, but then when you come in, I'm like, oh wow, you have such a different sort of perspective, and I really enjoy that. And also, you're an industry person, so it's sort of good you can give us your perspective.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
here for.
that's
And as a
my
fan. Yeah.
yeah, and you're also a fan like me. Okay, so with that big preamble aside, Jed, how are you? And welcome.
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited to talk about all this stuff. What are we getting into first? We're doing Stranger Things
Well,
recaps?
yeah. So the last time I had you on, we were doing Frankenstein. So a couple of the shows we're going to be touching on, we've already done some live streams about. So we did Frankenstein, and we did a really big deep dive on that. We did a big deep dive on Andor as well, I believe. And so what we're doing, this is sort of a little bit of an amalgamation. So I think what we're going to do is hopefully if you've seen Stranger Things, the finale, although I don't think we're going to get into too many spoilers, but we're going to do a little bit of an analysis of that and pick out some of our favorite looks from the series as a whole. So
That's great.
we've cast a bit of a wide net on that. And I was mentioning to Jed that I had some of the things on his list I would have put on my list. So I've added a few others just so we can go through that. And then the second part of this video, this live stream, will be us talking about shows from 2025 that we really loved, like 2025 films and TV shows. And then also Jed's going to touch on the Costume Designer Guild Award nominations, which are coming up. You know more about that than me, so I'll let you handle that. And then I've got some things, and possibly you as well, of what we're looking forward to seeing in 2026.
I'm so excited.
Does that sound about right, Jed?
It's a lot, but
A
yeah, we'll
lot.
get into it.
It's a lot, but I figure we'll do it in chunks. So we were
Yes,
talking about starting off with Stranger Things, and let me know in the chat. Oh, first off, you want to say hello, Happy New Year, and also if you have seen Stranger Things, the finale, not just to season 5, but also to the whole show as a whole, which started like 10 years ago, which is crazy, right?
I know, it is shocking. And that's whenever I started my rewatch of the whole series this summer to make my way through all of it to be ready for the finale. And I, finished it on New Year's like everybody else. And
Yes.
I loved it. How about y'all?
Well, I really enjoyed it. It's sort of I found like season 5 is sort of I kind of felt like, you can tell me what you all think, but I kind of felt like they were stretching it out a little bit. It's kind of like Catching Fire, episode 1 and 2, like
Right.
they're trying to milk it a little bit, right? So I felt it, and some of the, and I think there's been some criticisms on this, like there's some situations where the characters are like, should be like running the heck, like you go, and then they're stopping and they're doing this big, as Jeremy Johns called it, a TED Talk.
Yeah. There's
so what do you think about that?
Everyone got their emotional moments, which I think everyone enjoyed.
Yeah,
but there was, it could have used maybe a little bit of tightening. But I'm glad we had more time than less, and nothing felt rushed. Maybe some things didn't need to come back, or but as a whole, I think they stuck the landing, and I'm just impressed with the show and the magnitude of it. Looking at all of it now through season 1 through season 5, there's been, I think, 3 different costume designers carrying through the torch through everything, and they've made these characters feel specific and feel nostalgic for all of us, and in ways that did not feel cartoony. I think it's important. Like, and the ones we're going to touch on the show, the ones that I picked, are kind of the icons of the show. The ones I feel like we just off the top of your head. I'm a list person. I'm a top 5, easy to like list it off. So I knew immediately when I was picking 5 and I was watching all from having just watched those seasons, which ones I was going to go to. So do we want to start off with our picks?
Sure. One thing I wanted to ask you before we get going, and just because I did a review of Stranger Things in season 1, so this is like 9 years ago,
Yeah.
I think I did it,
Okay.
which is crazy when if you think about it. So when I first started my channel, and I'd found some mood boards, and I shared those on social media.
Yes.
But Kimberly Adams, do you know her, the costume
don't.
designer? Because I noticed Lindsay has worked with her several times, so I was wondering if you knew her. And the other thing is, so she was the original costume designer. She only did 4 episodes, and then Malgosia, she took over, and she's actually probably going to be nominated for an Oscar this year. So that's pretty crazy, right? She went from Stranger Things to this.
Spoiler, right.
Spoiler, maybe. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Jed's. You're calling? I made a little slide for you. Here's your slide.
I love a slide.
It's my PowerPoint slide for you. So do you want me just to toggle it through, and then you can just talk through what your picks are? Okay, so you've picked 5 outfits.
Yeah, and just start with
the first one.
And it's the first one that season 1. It's our first time, when we were identifying Elle and coming into her power, and this was the costume that Halloween. It's the most identifiable, and I think it is so smart in its simplicity of taking these found objects that would be available to these kids and putting them together in a way that is new and fresh, with a pin-tuck 80s dress that everyone had their school picture in, and then the windbreaker over it, and it just takes it to icon status. It's something that everybody can get their hands on, everybody can identify with, and you create a superhero out of it. The shaved head and the actor helps. Yeah, I mean, this is early on from like the fittings, and you see what we are trying to pull together in the moment, and I think this is a real testament to subtlety, right? Where it's not overworked, it's not over-designed, it's not overthought, and that's what makes it I think one of my top picks, but definitely in the Hall of Fame for Stranger Things. And
I think she had a blonde wig at one point too, didn't she?
Right. So she goes undercover. She has the blonde wig, and then she loses that, and we have our Elle. And I begin to slight spoilers at the very end. The last time we see her, she is in a pink top and a blue jacket.
Ah, yes, very good. Nice continuity there. But hey, South London, sorry. Hey, South London says, I'm sure I would have worn that dress to church in the 70s. Yeah, absolutely. I had a dress actually like that in the 70s that I wore. I remember I wore it to a birthday party. It was yellow though. And we went to McDonald's, and I spilled a milkshake all over the front.
Oh no.
It washed out though. Yeah, but it was, for sure. It was that smocked, that top. I don't know that it had a Peter Pan collar, but it was kind of like that. All right. So, sorry, I've gone to the next one. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. This takes us into season 2, and this is starting into hard 80s. So we see Mrs. Wheeler at the pool, and for me, like, I could just smell the pool. You know what I mean? Like, being here, these colors, this time frame is so nostalgic for me. The jewelry to the pool, all of it. I grew up in Florida, so this was like very much my baseline for reality, I think. But it's fun to see these women who are like in the Midwest getting ready to go to the pool. And again,
she got full makeup.
Full makeup. Yeah. But this is also like, to me, there was something about swimsuits, and there was like the whole like Swedish bikini team, that there was like a thing. Like, it was just, I don't know, like a fad of the 80s. And here we have our suburban mom playing that role for us with the villain. And I think, again, it's simple, but it becomes an iconic look for her.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I like the plastic jewelry, costume jewelry, because you can go in the pool in it. It won't get wrecked.
And I've seen like before people source it. It's Avon jewelry, which is also a special.
Oh, I love that. I have a bunch of Avon stuff actually. It's so
Yeah, it holds
funny.
up. It's
Yeah.
nostalgic for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I loved it. Actually, the actress, she did a behind the scenes picture of herself wearing it. It was quite high cut as well.
It was a little too high cut
Yeah.
for a
She
mom.
would have needed some depilatory
Yeah,
cream.
that's definitely a different era for her. But it was a very French cut era, so it is
Yeah.
on brand for that. For the time period, just maybe not for this exact character.
Hmm.
This character kind of has gone through a very weird amorphous trajectory. But I think here we see her at the height of her identity, I guess, outside of the family.
Yeah, we know that she's trying to be attractive for Billy.
Yeah, and that
She
she's got a
has this
life outside of
husband.
old Ted.
Yeah,
No one
Ted.
cared
Oh my
about.
gosh. I kind of actually that actor, I've seen him in another show and I was like, oh my gosh, thank God. Like this, they don't really give him much to do with. I don't think his character is important. That's why I think he's just sort of sidelined.
He should have, yeah, right. He should have just been like that kind of guy to do one-liners throughout, to
Yeah.
be the throwaway dad that we, in the '80s you never saw because you were always outside with your friends.
Hmm.
But I think for her, she ends up losing steam after this season, and she goes into, to me, what should have been Joyce's role, because she becomes
Yeah.
much more of the Ripley character, the one who has been the one who's like actually out there fighting and stuff. Joyce doesn't do very much fighting. She walks around with everybody, but Mrs. Wheeler definitely gets more action scenes.
Yeah. I mean, Joyce does have that one scene at the very end. I don't want to give spoilers away in case she has that one little moment.
Right, but it
But
was like, oh, we
by the
caught
way,
her walking around with this axe.
the her wig this season though was so terrible in my humble opinion. I'm not saying that she wouldn't
Yeah.
have ended up with a super fried blonde hairstyle, but compared to this with her
So
highlights and everything.
I know, and definitely like maybe there's something to say that the town's been shut down and they're all doing their
Your
hair care at
home
home.
styling.
This was definitely that time period where we were putting the plastic caps on and picking
Oh yeah.
the hair
With
through
the needle or the sorry, it's a crochet hook.
It's like a
The
crochet hook.
crochet hook. Yeah.
But maybe she had nothing else
Absolutely.
going on and she was doing it a little bit too much.
Yeah,
This
it was
also
over
falls into this.
processed.
It's very over processed. This also falls into a category I like to call the Princess Bride. And there is the little guy who tortures him and Princess Bride with the white hair and the white
Yes.
skin. And
Yeah,
so
the albino.
And so anytime I see someone, because it's not uncommon that they will put someone in like, she's a very warm skinned person. She needs a honey blonde hair. So putting her in that too light blonde, and then the poor hospital gown, I mean, she doesn't stand a chance.
And then they make her like she's a probably a momaholic or whatever they call it, a momaholic, like with the wine and everything.
Yeah.
But she steps up. She does step up
Absolutely,
when it's
absolutely.
required. Yeah.
So, I think she
I love
deserved
her. I don't
better.
care.
Yeah, I think she deserved
I kind
better.
of and her final look, I was like, oh my God, that so I mean the scars probably didn't help, but I was just like that final look for me was just like a no. Anyway,
but I do
that's my
wonder
opinion.
if they were trying to like, because I feel like coming into a fitting too, I would have to say let's pick one that's going to cover the scars, and let's pick one that's going to show the scars and see what happens on the day and how we feel. But I think it's important to see that she does have some ramifications after everything, because a lot of this is like everything magically goes away. So to have something that does carry over, and definitely the haircut I think was on point for that one. But yeah, she could have done better all around. But dump Ted, move to the city with the kids.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And let's watch that spinoff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, maybe we'll see something with her in the future. There has been talk of like a future. So the next one we have is Hopper. You call it his Magnum PI look, which I think is very appropriate.
Yeah, I think this is season 3.
Is season 2. Season 3.
It's 2 or 3. Yeah, I think this is the introduction to the mall. And so this is the first time we see I remember his like receptionist is coming with the shirt, like it's a big shirt. It's one he's going on the
Yes.
date with. So this is outside of his comfort zone, right? 'Cause we've only seen him really in the uniform and in kind of Western wear, kind of redneck clothes. So here we see him making an effort, trying to fit in, joining the mall craze and the pastel craze. I think this is just a really good Hawaiian shirt. I think that it's soft enough where it's not overpowering him, and it gives us again a great costume that now and a great like affinity for him. Like people just I think
Hmm.
fell in love with him this season, even more than they were, and it kind of plays in the absurdity of it all. Um, when they're hunting Russian spies and they're in a Hawaiian. Sure.
One thing I like about it, and this was sort of a big thing in the 80s, is even though it's a Hawaiian shirt, it's an abstract. Like it's not like it's
Yeah.
got like a graphical, sort of a
Mm-hmm.
graphical print, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to like what would be like palm leaves or flowers or
Right.
something
Right.
like
I was
that,
gonna say about
right?
that because we're coming up from like his parents' generation would have been the ones to come back from the war and bring the novelty shirts, to bring the Hawaiian shirts and stuff. So it was like not your dad's Hawaiian shirt, right? We're doing it in a new way.
Yeah.
And again, it's
And it
tucked
might be
in,
polyester.
it's folded, and his sleeves are rolled. It's tucked in, which is not how we would do it these days either. So
No,
it's a very specific time period.
absolutely. Okay,
And you're
next.
like this
This
is the,
one's, of
also
course,
the no, go ahead.
go ahead. Sorry.
And I say this is also like the colors of my childhood again from Florida.
Yes. I actually really like Joyce's like ringer tee, I think you call it. I
Mm-hmm.
really like that. That's actually kind of how I would dress a little bit. Like, you do the layers, you have a shirt over a shirt, and then when you get hot, you wrap it around, especially in
This show is
Canada.
like really good. And down the
Hmm.
south, this show is really good about doing layers.
Hmm.
Again, for Janice and or Joyce, sometimes I feel like it skews just a little too frumpy. Where I
Hmm.
feel like she could have just had some better basics. So I don't love her trajectory either. It just ends up kind of getting to me lost on the sauce. Um, but he's bringing it, and then into season 5, I noticed that he, again with layering, they had uh, elbow pads, knee pads, all this stuff. So he was definitely outfitted in his militia gear in a very layered, heavy way. It was fun to see that.
Yeah, I
Sorry, the
found,
dog's barking.
oh, no, no, no worries. One of the things I found in season 5 is that I think like David, sorry, who's the actor's name? The Hopper actor, David,
Harbor.
because Harbor. I think he had, because he kind of had been moving around roles, like, he was in the what's the
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts and all.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think he was also the Devil movie or whatever. So I think he had actually like lost weight and then gained weight and lost weight. So you could kind of see that a little bit in him in this season. Like it looked like he had lost, like he looked a bit like deflated,
Yeah,
like
he was
someone
more
had poked
svelte.
a hole in him. Yeah, and so, but I found the one thing I wasn't crazy about, and maybe it was just because he didn't care. He just looks so disheveled this season. I mean, at the end they showed him kind of cleaning up a bit, but he looked. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, like of all the characters, he looked like he had been run through the mill. Like
And he
his
kind of
hair, his
has.
beard.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
guess
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Whereas the other
yeah.
ones still look like kind of pulled together. They all seem still somewhat pulled
I
together.
guess when you don't want to deal with your emotional trauma, it comes out
Yeah.
in every which way.
Yeah. Okay, so next one we have is
Uh,
Eddie. This is
Eddie.
iconic, of
And so I think
course.
this is iconic. This is season 4, and I
Hmm.
think the introduction to him, and sort of putting a branding on the D&D club and the group of outsiders with the Hellfire Club. It's now given us something to attach to. It's a really good way of doing where maybe a softer version of this character. It still felt like Midwestern, without being again a costume. So I think this was a good way to have him like really feel like broken in, and in the right demographic. And also, I think this speaks to how well this show does their world building. I think that it's so much of it is the sci-fi stuff and making sure that's a plausible world, but then also just the world of Hawkins. And so all the graphic tees and so that go through this show are so well done.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he's wearing, I just noticed he's wearing like a denim vest over a leather jacket, which is so cool.
Yeah, again, so the layering on this show is amazing.
Yeah, so they would have had to have created this sort of design, I gather, like for the show itself.
And it's got approval and all that stuff, right? And now this is now merchandise that is marketable and goes on to sell, which is the whole other conversation. And of course, we saw it several times in we saw it in episode 5, right? So, or season 5, I should say. Yep.
Okay. So, and his wig, by the way, is amazing. Like this wig, this is one of the best wigs, I think, in the show.
I think so too. To me, he does have a peanut head, and so I feel like that is very good for wigs. Because a lot of it, I think, is just there's so much hair going on under it that it gets like double layered with in our wig talk tangents. But yeah, he is a wonderful actor and a great character, and it's good because his shadow again carries over into season 5.
I had a boyfriend in high school who had hair like that, by the way, and it was funny. And then he cut it, and then I lost interest in him.
Yeah, not so special
beautiful.
Anymore.
It was like that. It was layered, like it was just brown. It wasn't black, but it was layered. And then he just looked, and he had just the perfect face for it. And then he cut it, and he just didn't look as good. It was really strange. So. Yeah, I was into kind of rocker boys.
Yeah, the hearts want it once.
Does. Now this one. Oh, by the way, I did a really fun years ago. I did this really fun like meet up with these cosplayers, and we got into this little studio and we did like a Q&A thing. It was really fun, and one of the girls dressed up, of course, as Robin. Yeah. So incredible, and everything about this picture is so good, right? Like the whole thing.
So good. So this goes back to season 3. We're back at the mall, and I actually rewatched Fast Times at Ridgemont High over the break, and it meshes so well into that world. So this is a way to do uniforms. Used to be a very different thing because it wasn't standardized. You didn't just order a uniform from some company. I mean, this was like more tailor-made. And so to have a male and female costume or uniform for the ice cream shop, so well done. And then they're in this for the entire season. So they go, and go undercover or get abducted by Russian spies. And so it's performance wear as well. It's just, again, so well done.
By the way, what's interesting is she's wearing shorts, which would have been a skirt, like feminine. It would have always been. It would have been a masculine and a feminine. Yeah,
for sure.
But I mean, it makes sense to me.
Or that she would probably grab the boys' pants and wear those because no one's going to stop her because she's Robin. She's rockin' Robin. So I think that's great. The way they've made it their own. Enjoy it. And again, you see the graphic tee here that we have with and the hat that we have representing what I said earlier. Yeah.
And I like actually they do have some of their own pieces, like Steve has a watch and Robin has some of her jewelry and her little those little bracelets girls used to wear.
Yeah.
And I also and then they've got the little, just all the little details, like the name tag with the anchor on it, and then the little ice cream cone, just all the lovely little details, right? I'm sure they went through many iterations of this. But also, I have to say, the nautical look was huge in the 80s. It was massive.
Yeah.
A lot of designers like, Jean-Paul Gaultier were making it very iconic. I had a ton of sailor stuff that I would wear. So love that one. Okay, so so Jed, we're gonna get to mine, and then you can tell me what you think of my choices. But I like thumbs up for all your choices, by the way. So everyone who's watching, if you're here hanging out with us, say hello. Feel free to say hello. We're now doing. So we just did Jed's top 5 picks, Hall of Fame costumes for Stranger Things, all 5 seasons. So we got we're picking one per season, but I didn't pick one per season. It just ended up
being that way. Yeah. No rules.
Yeah. Okay. So my first one is Okay, Barb. Sorry, let me just go to my notes. Sorry. I'm gonna go to my notes here, just so I have the right
Barb.
character name. Okay. When I did, I did the season 1 video. So one of the reasons why I love this costume so much is I had a friend named Susan in high school. So I would have been the Nancy, and not that I was petite like Nancy, but my friend Susan was over 6 feet tall. She was
Okay.
massive. And she used to dress like this. She would wear the secretary blouses. She would wear the high-waisted denim pants. She wore glasses. So she looked like her, whereas I was kind of smaller. And I'm trying to think what I would wear. I always wore pastels. That was sort of my thing. And I wore some vintage too, because my sister was really into vintage. So I used to borrow a lot of her clothes, which pissed her right off that I would borrow some of her clothes. But anyway, yeah, so I love this. And it was funny because we used to call these secretary blouses. So they, they might have bows, they might have ruffles or buttons or that type of thing. So I love that.
Yep.
And in this case, I went with the plaid. I have a picture. Here's a close-up of it. And then the glasses, of course, and even her hair. Like, I love her hair so much. They really got it. Like the curling iron.
I know.
My friend Susan was a redhead as well, so that's another reason why, of course, it reminds me of her. It's so crazy. She is wearing quite a bit of makeup. One of the things I don't like, it's weird. Like I never would have gone to school without any makeup. Never. Like, it's so strange. I had to at least have like eyeliner, mascara, maybe powder. But like eyeshadow, she got the eyeshadow, she got the lip gloss, like the whole kit and caboodle there. And then here's one.
She thought about it. Yes.
She did. Yeah. So here's the actress behind the scenes. I found this on the designer's Instagram. By the way, I had this picture, this illustration of Barb. I just wanted to share it because it was so fun. Like someone did it. I don't know who did it. I apologize. I think the name might be in the corner there. I had it in my file. I just wanted to share that because I thought it was so great. And they really captured her. But those jeans, I don't even think she wears a belt. She just wears high-waisted jeans with white socks.
Yeah.
And then like cute little shoes. I don't know if those are the shoes she wears in the show, but like, she's even like the actress is like, yep. She's not quite the deep short.
But that's what you had. Those are the shoes you had. You had that, and you would have a tennis shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, I wore a lot of flats. We're really big in the 80s were Chinese flats. Do you know what I'm talking about? You get them in Chinatown. Those were big. So we would wear those a lot. Really bad for your arches, by the way, though. There's no arch support. But they're super cute. So you could wear them with stockings or knee highs or ankle socks.
Every generation goes through some version.
Yeah. Next. Oh, it has a transition.
Oh,
okay. I'm picking this for Steve, by the way. So this is Steve. When I saw this, so I think you can tell me, Jed, if I'm wrong. Do you call this a Harrington jacket?
And which is cropped. That he's Steve Harrington. Yes.
No, I know, but I found that it's called a Harrington jacket, which I thought would be really meta if Steve Harrington is wearing a Harrington jacket.
It is a Harrington.
So there's another close-up of it. Yeah, because it has that sort of style collar. And, when I think of this jacket, I think of like James Spader, in the 80s, like very cool, preppy. But, Steve McQueen, I think, wore this jacket like back in the 60s. It's a very kind of iconic jacket. And I just like, he is, he's the dick boyfriend. But of course, he has that wonderful arc that I love about him. Of course, he has this hair,
he might have the best character arc of the whole show.
He has the best character arc. And, Joe Carey, I heard that they actually originally weren't going to keep him, but then he was just so great.
Yeah.
And he became such a fan favorite.
Yeah, I think that he was
it's funny.
Like, you see a Trapper Keeper?
Trapper Keeper, I just noticed that. Yes, that was like a binder that you could buy back in the in the 80s, right? So that's my other one.
I also saw, was it 16 Candles over the break, and he is very, was it Jake coded.
Yes. Who retired. He didn't go on, that actor. He was super handsome.
Go out on a high note. It was perfect. But yeah, watching that, it definitely reminded me of that a lot.
Yeah, and I think Joe Carey's going to have a huge career.
I think they all will. Yeah, it's a good cast.
Next. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Okay, this
yeah.
is terrible. Like, I mean, like Dacre Montgomery, I think it is.
Uh-huh.
Like, and he's kind of gone away for a while now. He's just slowly coming back. But anyway, I cannot imagine anyone else playing Billy.
I know.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
Again, we've got an incredible wig, the accessories,
The accessories were
his
great.
just his form. You know, here he is. He's
Yep.
kind of slightly sweaty. You know,
Oh.
this is like the thing that cracks me up here. See, I actually wouldn't have liked a guy like this in high school. He's got one of those like skinny mustaches. Like
Yeah.
I hated
The
that.
caterpillar.
Really, I hated guys in high school who tried to grow a mustache, but it was just sort of like sad.
know.
But no, like I mean, but now I'm like, oh my God. And so you can sort of see why Mom Wheeler loves him, right?
Yeah. And he's a bad boy.
Yeah, and then so there he is. There, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the pendant is. I think it might be like you know, like one of those religious pendants that you wear, like
Okay.
you know, and he's got an earring, you know,
Yeah,
he's a pirate.
There's mine.
He's kind of perfection. That wig though. I mean,
Agreed.
that is
Agreed.
probably one of the best wigs.
The thing is, like, he is. Yes, I'm sorry. Maybe, I don't know if it's a wig or is it just like hinges in the back.
It's a wig.
Oh,
Yeah.
Amazing. He is so awful that you have to like the actor, I think, to be able to get through the season because, you know, and then also Max is so good. So the torture he inflicts on her is so deeply felt. But yeah, the lifeguard look also very 80s. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty great. And then finally, by the way, if you guys are just joining us, like say hello. Hello in the comments. It's me and Jed.
And then say your favorite
our
costume.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us what your favorite from Stranger Things is. It doesn't have to be the latest season, it can just be any of them. What's this next one here? Oh, okay. Yeah. So by the way, she had a bunch of shirts. Like this is season 3, I believe, when they go to the mall. She had a bunch of shirts, like really fun 80s shirts. But I think I just sort of chose this one. I like this look. I like the fact that she's got the suspenders, which were really big, especially for young people. Although I think I wore suspenders. It was, teens wore suspenders, like girls. Like we used to call it like haberdashery. So we would blend in a little bit of masculine into, like we'd wear bow ties or neckties, that kind of thing. And then
also, it's like when the 40s references were coming back. And
the 40s, exactly. Which is why I love Blade Runner, because it's kind of like got the 40s, 80s look to it. But anyway, so this really cute top, like I call it like an ink blot. It's kind of like, you know, they used to do like tie-dye, but like this ink blot thing, I think was fashion, like was a thing. And then also she's got the high-waisted denim, but it's a darker denim, but it's super cute on her with pleats.
Oh yeah.
And of course, it's got pleats, but it's almost got that additional band on the top.
Yes.
But so cute on her. And then, of course, at this stage, she's kind of got a bob. Like, she's got a bit of a Molly Ringwald kind of layered bob at this point. And then she's got the scrunchie, you know. So it's kind of got everything. And, of course, with, what's her name next to her there? I lost her name. Samantha. Max, yes. And with Max next to her, that's a nice contrast, I think, between the two of them. And the boys, too. It's crazy when you look at these older pictures to see how much the kids have changed. Like Mike kind of looks the same, but Will looks so different.
I know. They're babies.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they love that bowl cut on him.
Oh.
It's the worst.
Poor kid.
So all right, and then here I think I have one more here. Oh, that's the same one. Here's a close-up one. There's her scrunchie. So anyway, so I thought that one was really nice.
You do see it's a good way to also see like how they'll be able to keep the kids kind of separate in their own personal style. Yeah,
absolutely. Because like when I think this is for the big battle scene at the mall, so it's nice because you got them in all these individual, like very distinctive color palette, like they're very bright, so you could pick them out during the scene. And so I thought that was really clever. But also I loved basically all of that mall clothing that they were wearing. I think it was just really, really fun. So because one of the things I remember when I was doing my season 1 is that like Mike's mom would buy all his clothes. Like he really wouldn't have much
Right.
say in it at the beginning, right? Like both their moms probably also. And
Well, I'd
then
say that's where Joyce's. You get to see kind
yeah.
of maybe the financial status where
Yeah,
maybe
and
he
Will would
has
have
more hand.
hand-me-downs.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of, and then you see Joyce is less affluent, so shit. Now, so speaking of Joyce, okay, I have put in one look for Joyce,
Let's
and
see it. Let's
I
see it.
think this one, and
Okay.
the reason
Okay.
why,
Okay. Tell
her
me.
corduroy jacket, it's
Yeah.
not that I love it, but she has worn this jacket in every
Yeah.
season,
Yeah.
including the finale. So here she is.
Yeah.
I think this is season 1 because you remember she worked in like a little store like at the
Yeah.
beginning,
Yeah.
and she's wearing her uniform under there, and then this is her in the finale. So she has managed to keep that jacket for 10 years. But like people
Yeah.
of certain economic situations, and I should say I even have things in my closet that I've had for 10, 20 years, right? You may not throw it out. I wouldn't wear it all the time,
Right.
but but my headcanon around this jacket when I first saw it is I thought, well, it is a woman's jacket. I'm just trying to think of the buttons. But I think she does wear perhaps some of her ex's clothes.
I
I
thought
kind
so
of got that
too. Yeah.
feeling. Yeah,
Same.
like when he left, like he might have left some clothes and she's just like, oh, I'll put on this plaid shirt or I'll put on this,
Yeah.
So I do think this is a female jacket. You can tell me. You probably would know better than me. Based on the buttons?
I thought it was a men's, but maybe you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's
because it's left over right is men's, and this is right over left.
yeah.
So it's a women's jacket. It is what it'd be like a chore jacket. And to me, it just is grounding her and making her warm and cozy and friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So that does a lot of that work for her being, the nurturer.
Absolutely. Yeah. The other thing I was going to say, this is not something I was super crazy going into season 5. So you can see her makeup is pretty natural. Like she doesn't, like she is wearing makeup, but it looks like she's not wearing makeup. Whereas in season 5, I was like, she had full on eye makeup, like mascara, lip gloss. I was like, what is going on there? Why does she have, like her hair is pretty much the same. I think they kept her hair mostly the same, but yeah, there were some scenes actually with the boys even where I was like, why are the boys wearing makeup? Like I could see it. I could see the makeup. I could see they're wearing lipstick or lip gloss or something. Anyway, I don't know what that was about.
There is a jump like somewhere from like season 3 to, on where the show does step out of what I first loved about it, where it was kind of this pastiche of all the 80s sci-fi and horror that we loved, and into this more pulpy, cartoony show. So I think they're definitely in the way. So it's like interesting to see like how the clothes can help push that tone sometimes and help tone it down sometimes. But definitely it gets a little off track for me after season 2.
Yeah, like Robin's wearing makeup here, for instance. So she's got that typical, like, the teenager doesn't know how to put makeup on. So the thing they do is they do the line, like they do that. And a lot of young people did that. Like, so I love her hair and makeup in here.
Yeah, I mean, she's like the Ali
so
Sheedy, character.
Totally. Yeah. And so I actually love the way she looked in this season. I wasn't as crazy as how she looked in season 5, but again, that was just my opinion. So, this is just, to me, just one of the best looks of the whole series. So, yeah. All right. So now, before we move on, did you want to have any, I can just remove this actually for now. No, we do that there. Do you want to have any final thoughts on Stranger Things? Like how do you feel? Were you kind of sad about it? Like, how did you feel about them breaking it up into multiple episodes? Like, what were your final thoughts on the whole show?
I'm happy to drag it out further and have more conversation about shows as they go along. Absolutely. So I'm happy to have that break. I did want to shout out Erica as a MVP of styling. I think Holly in this last season was great.
Yeah.
I had a note about Murray has a work jacket that he wears that they've supplemented with a knit collar. I think it was beautiful.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. Um, I think there's some really smart choices. Is them making again having all the layers and the kids carrying
Mm.
through. Because again, I mean this shot for a year, and so these clothes have to have multiples, have to have photo doubles, have to have stunt doubles. Um, just a big round of applause to that whole team and making that
Mhm.
work almost seamlessly. I know there was a big internet thing about the Under Armour shirt popping out. Did you see this?
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh no, I didn't see that.
It's like we stress and worry so much, but at the end, you have to leave it up to the universe, and whatever's going to happen is going
Yeah.
to happen. So, in one of the scenes, it's on Holly whenever she's fighting through to free herself from the Vecna schmear, and she
Yeah.
punches through the wall, and her sweater rises up, and you see her base layer underneath, and it's Under
Oh,
Armour.
okay. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah.
And so they're like, "Oh, you like it? Stranger Things, they left this, blah 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 blah." And then Netflix has actually gone back and re-edited it and taken out the
Oh my gosh. Wow.
logo. So the sweater
Yeah,
still
the
comes
logo.
up, and you see the black sleeve, but you don't see the logo anymore.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they are changing things in real time. How I feel
That's
about that,
crazy. Yeah.
you
I
know,
know that years ago I found a picture of Daenerys Targaryen, and I could see just a bra strap or something. But I have to tell you, out of 8 seasons, all the costumes, that was the first time I had seen anything. And it was so minor. And I did complain in House of Dragon, I could see like underneath the gowns, I could see
yeah,
their bras,
yeah,
which was a big
yeah,
no-no for me.
yeah.
But isn't that incredible though? Like out of, and I looked at like I had like a
You're
magnifying
there. I
glass
know
looking at
you
these
are.
pictures. Yeah. So that's incredible. So I know I never noticed that. The actually Holly's was interesting because I was kind of like she kind of put together her outfit and it's supposed to be based on the doll. I wish we'd had like a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe it was me. I wish we'd had a bit of a better picture of her little figure because I think the figure was dressed up kind of like that, right? I think that's
You're
where the
right,
idea
right.
came
Yeah,
from.
absolutely. And I love
Yeah.
that it's in like first off, just seeing her in her like day to day look, um,
Hmm.
very
Which
much
was
reminded
really
my
cute.
childhood. It was really cute.
Oh, it was
And
great.
just I'd
Yeah.
kind of forgotten the whole
All
like
the
ruffle on
kids,
the
all the
sleeve thing.
kids.
All the kids were really
Yeah.
great. And then seeing her in is it Karamazot's where it's like the heightened reality,
Amazon. Hmm.
Kamazot's, and so having that be more of our storybook version of her, I thought was really well done. And then
Yeah,
Henry
and she
too,
looked
having
kind of
that
like
whole
Little Red
breakdown.
Riding Hood a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
it was kind of a Red Riding Hood with the cape and the hood and everything. And
absolutely.
I thought it was really, really, it was really, really cute. Yeah, no, I thought like there was nothing really that Nancy's was interesting. Of course, she had a bit of a Ripley at one point in the
Mhm.
finale. I was like, she's almost a bit like Rambo, kind of a
Yeah, she.
Rambo Ripley, with the hair and everything
And then with
and the
all
costume,
they got all of the matter
the
on
armor.
their clothes where they like
Yeah.
melted, and then later on, I mean, their pants are just speckled. It's almost like acid washed. They have all that
Yeah.
white paint all over them, so that's great.
Which
Um,
was that the goo, right? That you're
the
talking about?
goo,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's really funny? That actually there is a real world sort of analog for that. My husband was telling me this, Jack, because he was watching
Okay.
the show with me. Apparently there's this theory that that if the world gets overpopulated with nanobots, it could turn to goo like in 3 days and the whole world would be covered in this gray goo. So there's a real world, like it's not a thing that happened. It's just like it's a
Yeah,
hypothesis of what could
yeah.
potentially happen.
And that's
So
why
I
I
think
love that
that
it
may be
shows
worth.
like being grounded in something of a reality and then playing it to the max.
Yeah, exactly. They're taking it to the crazy town. You know what I thought was going to happen during that scene? I thought the floor was going to just collapse. I thought they were going to fall through the
Mm-hmm,
floor
mm-hmm.
because they were on the desk, and I think there was something like that. I've seen it before in other movies where they're sitting on a table or a desk, and then they fall through and land on the bottom floor. That's what I thought was going to happen. So I was actually surprised that
Yeah,
everything kind of hardened up like a
they
resin or
were too.
something.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird
They
one.
were too. Well, any other thoughts? I'm trying to think. There was a few other things that I was thinking of that I'm like, what did you think of the, I have to say, what did you think of the graduation gowns?
Wrong material.
I
Wrong
mean, the color, I
material.
was, and then they had a green backdrop, like on the stage. And I was like, oh my God, this is horrifying. And I'm not saying like a lot of like my brothers and sisters graduated in the 80s from high school because I'm younger than them. But, we would have worn like black and then had a cowl or something that would have been bright. So I was like, oh my God, like a shiny orange
polyester.
gown and cap against a green background. So I thought that was nuts. But that might have been a duffer ask. I don't know.
I don't know. Again, I think that is the color of the 80s to me is orange. Like the late 80s, early 90s. Again, to me, it was just the wrong material choice. And it was small pet peeve, but I know that we had like, was it ropes to have different signifiers for different classes and stuff too. So it just felt like it needed a little bit more.
Yeah, like a little stole or something.
They had the stole, but we would have like ropes if you did like extra credits in math or whatever, and sciences and that kind of stuff. So I think just having that, having difference in our main characters at least would have been interesting. And my coffee's coming in now.
Okay, yay! Someone's bringing you a coffee. Yay! I'm almost finished with coffee. One of the things
it's all warm too. Beautiful work.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind.
Thank you.
One of the things I was going to tell you that like my son just graduated from high school, this is something that they do now that is so fun. So when you graduate, I don't know if this is everywhere. This might just be where I live. But they give you your mortar board. Like we used to we rented it, I think. We rented the mortar board and the gown. Like we didn't get to keep it.
Really?
But now you get a keepable, like, keepsake of a mortar board. And they give it to you in advance. And all of the kids decorate their mortar boards. So they bedazzle them, or they put glitter on them, or flowers, or whatever they want. And so all the kids had, except for my son, because I didn't know anything about this, had decorated their mortar board. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so fun. Isn't that fun?
That's a good idea. I think we got to keep ours too. Definitely there you go. The DIY era.
Well, I guess because of, Okay. So any other thoughts on Stranger Things before we wrap up here then? It's hard, right? It's a lot.
I would love to get back in this universe again because I do love that so much.
And do you think that there might be it seems like it's open for a spinoff. Like, by the way, Linda Hamilton's character, there was no resolution for her. By the way, her wig is it's like, what is with that wig? That poor woman. And I know it was the wig because I saw her in a behind the scenes fitting getting it put on. But what did you like? Is there potential perhaps for a spinoff?
I'm happy if for all these actors get to go on and do something else completely. But again, I just like living in this world that's like nostalgia world. But that I would say is not quite captured by like Welcome to Derry or those shows that are also like Stephen King. There's something that got to be in between because that show to me is too graphic and violent. Like I don't love. That's not my favorite.
Oh, you're talking about it?
Welcome to Derry.
I can't watch it. You know why? I'm afraid of clowns. I can't watch anything with clowns or cannibalism. I can't.
I think there might be both in that.
Well, I was saying it was funny because I interviewed Michael Hargadon and he did what's that cannibal show? Was it Hannibal? Sorry, he did Hannibal, and I said, Michael, I'm really sorry, but I can't watch that show. I'm afraid of cannibals.
And I watched that show, and it's a beautiful show. It's a shame you have to miss it.
I know it's gorgeous.
Why. It's a gorgeous show.
I know it's absolutely gorgeous, but I just was like, I can't do it. And then I can't anything with clowns. I hate them.
Okay.
The only ones I don't mind so much are the the Puro style clown. That's not so bad. But any kind of horror clown, forget it. No, it's not allowed in my house. So, all right.
So,
go ahead.
What did you love this year? Talk about that next.
Sure. Okay. Well, do you want me to do me first?
Yes. Want to know?
Should I go first? Okay. Let me get. Okay.
Your faves of the 2025.
I have some pictures, so I can share those too. Let me just. I have to get it ready to go. And also, okay, so guys, so we're leaving Stranger Things and we're going to now talk about what we liked in 2025. Let me just go ahead here. Okay, I'm going to start with this. And I know I have some crossover with you. So, okay, and this is early in the season. So my friend actually, Alicia, she said, Heidi, have you seen Sinners? And I said, no, what is that? And I didn't know anything about it. And she said, you have to watch it. And so what I love about it is I knew nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a really great way to watch it. Have you seen it? Have you seen Sinners?
Absolutely.
I've seen it twice, actually.
I would love to see it again.
I saw it. Well, I saw it once. I saw it in the theater, and then I saw it at home. And my son actually wanted to go see it in the theater, so we went. I took him. He's 19, and he loved it. So it's kind of like, I think it's like one of those films that, you know, everyone will love. It is such a beautiful, visually stunning movie. But, you know, the story is great. The acting is amazing. The production design, the costumes by Ruth E. Carter, absolutely stunning. So as soon as I saw it, I said, oh yeah, this is getting nominated for an Oscar right away.
Absolutely.
But then this happened. Let me go to the next one. Then this happened. So now I'm like, okay, I'm not sure. So Frankenstein. Now I have to say, Sinners, I actually liked it better as a movie than I did Frankenstein. Like, I thought Frankenstein was really good, but I actually loved, like, I absolutely adored Sinners. So it's like my perfect type of movie. So this one is more gothic, whereas, I don't know, how would you refer, maybe Sinners is a Southern Gothic? How would you maybe describe it?
Yeah, that would be great. Which is like one of my favorite genres.
Yeah, Southern Gothic, because I'm a big fan of like what do you call it? True Blood, you know, that type of thing, that Southern Gothic kind of feel to it. So it has that sort of thing. From Dusk Till Dawn, it's sort of got a bit of a From Dusk Till Dawn kind of feel. Whereas Frankenstein is a Victorian Gothic, I guess maybe you might call it, right?
Yeah.
Much darker. So I'm going to have a hard time with this one. So I noted what you put for maybe Oscar picks. So I'm probably leaning toward Frankenstein being the one that's going to win. But it's hard for me because personally, I would say Sinners and Frankenstein were equally amazing. I don't know. So
how can you? It's other things like you cannot choose, and there's no way to compare. You know, who is the best at costume designing for 2025?
Exactly, and they're totally, absolutely.
But we love all the work that went into these two projects, especially.
Okay, so 3 other movies I'm going to add. So these would probably be my Oscar-y, what I think potentially, but I'm probably wrong. So my next one is, this is you. Let me go to it. Where is it here? My next one is, where's my list? Okay. Weapons.
You think?
Absolutely loved Weapons.
Okay.
I think, now the thing with Weapons is it's contemporary, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't want to give anything away because in case anyone hasn't seen it, it's horror. It's so meticulously done, though. It's just such a brilliant movie. But there's one particular character, the design on that is flawless as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know that it would be enough to get a nomination or a win. But just personally, this is what I absolutely love. But I also love the contemporary costumes in it as well. So, and I've only seen it once. So this is one I would like to watch again now that I know what I know, kind of thing.
Same.
So, the next one is, and I just saw this one recently. I just highly, highly recommend everyone watch this one. So One Battle After Another. Again, it's contemporary, or is it contemporary? Does it take place? It's contemporary, I think. But again, Colleen. Oh, by the way, I meant to mention Trish Somerville did the costumes for Weapons. One of my favorite designers. She's absolutely amazing. I cannot say enough good things about her. Of course, she did Catching Fire, which is one of the best, I think probably the best costume designs of the, and she did the new Hunger Games movie as well. Not the one coming up soon, but So anyway, huge
Sunrise.
fan of
Oh, no,
hers.
yep.
She
Yep.
did also, I think she did season 1 of Westworld.
Mhm.
So just one of my favorite designers. But this one is Colleen Atwood, who a woman in her possibly early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, is still kicking. She is like on fire, this lady. She's also doing Wednesday. Anyway, contemporary film, but absolutely
Yep.
the whole design was amazing.
Yep.
Like the production design, the writing, the acting, the score, the whole thing was just, it was amazing. Did you get to see this, Jed?
I've not seen it yet. It's on my list.
You will love
But
it.
I've already put it down as I was debating on putting this on my list as well. Just
Yeah.
because I have not seen it yet. But again, I know Colleen, love Colleen.
Yeah.
And seeing the look she's put together for Leonardo, I mean for all the actors, but especially for Leonardo, for Benicio's character.
Oh yeah.
I don't even have to see the movie, and I know that they've been able to take
Tiana Taylor,
these
though.
real
Tiana Taylor's, yeah.
amazing. So,
So anyway,
excited
it's
to see
longer
Colleen
movie.
play in this world though, because Colleen doesn't
Mhm.
really do
Yeah.
contemporary like this.
No.
So having someone with that much skill and talent, show you how it can be done, a gift.
Absolutely. So I highly recommend that. Yeah, Tiana Taylor's amazing, and Regina Hall's in it too. So and Sean, oh, by the way, Sean Penn. Oh my God, Sean Penn in this movie. Like if he doesn't get an Oscar nomination for this role, absolutely amazing. Okay. Yeah. And finally, and I just saw this recently again. Okay, this is like Sinners went into this knowing nothing about it. Begonia. Oh my God. Gorgeous design, again, contemporary, but really tells a story, does an amazing job. I don't want to tell anybody anything about this because it's better just to go in not knowing anything about it. So I've
not seen it either. I have been spoiled, but so I kind of know what happens. I will say what I saw was from the designer, and do you have the designer's name?
It's Jennifer Johnson.
Jennifer Johnson. I believe she had like a 300-page mood board for this movie.
Oh my God. Wow.
That got narrowed down. And it's a small cast, right? Like it's only, it's like a three-hander.
It's an ensemble. It's a small ensemble. Yeah. I mean, basically,
so again,
it's kind of almost like
a different way of thinking, but
for sure, like everyone, I think most scenes, I think most of it takes place like in one room in a lot of the cases, right? So
that was my impression. So I think you have to go from that much research, and she's been able to filter it down and get these characters nailed down so tightly they're believable in this hyperbolic world.
Yeah, but now that I know the ending, I kind of want to go back and rewatch it to see. Because it did well, I kind of figured it out a little bit. I did kind of figure it out. Like I was like, yeah, I don't want to say anything, but I think I did kind of figure it out. But I want to go back and see the evolution of the characters just to sort of see like how they're dressed and everything like that. But Jesse Plemons is in it. I mean, he's probably one of our most. Like I don't know how to describe him even. He's probably like a Stephen Buscemi. He's just so amazing, such an amazing character actor, and probably one of our best actors we have, like in our current, society of our generation, I should say. He's like the Robert De Niro. Did you?
On jealous. Civil War. He came in, he did a cameo. Yeah, he came into the cameo.
Well, his cameo was terrifying.
Terrifying. And I would say what makes it terrifying, a lot of it is his glasses in that scene.
Yeah.
And I got the note, I think maybe the day before, because they had a rush fitting, so we rush fit him. And I got a note from the designer, Megan Kaspelik, asking, saying he wanted some props to play with, something that he could, decorate his uniform with, whatever. So I went out and bought all kinds of weird, random stuff that we could do. And I think he walked down to basically like the Canal Street of Atlanta and picked up his own red glasses. And it just makes so much sense, him having that red filter, everything is blood. There's, and so taking that humanity away from him in that way changed the character in a whole different way. And, again, then we see two red eyes staring at us as this villain. It was perfect and simple. So sometimes you do a lot of work, but the answer's right there in front of you.
Wow, no, and his role in that was incredible. Again, like he's kind of like, and he's, I've mentioned about I was mentioning the other actor who's a lot like David, who'd lost some weight, and he's kind of gone through this a little bit of weight loss, up and down. So in this role, he's at his slimmest, and it works so well because he's kind of like swimming in his clothes. And it really works for the character. So everything's like, nothing fits him properly. Everything is like super ill-fitting. And he just looks like he's been through the ringer, kind of like
and that's like trust. Yeah, that's trust you have with your actor as well. Like, I'm not making you look like a fool. I'm making your character feel real. And you don't always, you hope to achieve that trust with everybody. Sometimes you don't. So kudos to this team too. Again, shot in Atlanta.
Yeah. So anyway, I highly recommend everyone seeing this movie. So I'm kind of picking these movies not just because of the design, which is incredible, but the movies themselves are incredible as well. So do you want to talk about your? So you have some Oscar picks, which
we have, and again, this is obviously like from me.
You had Golden Globes as well.
I whenever what started the whole conversation was that the CDG had just come out with their nominations. And so I thought it'd be interesting if we could talk about that, because it's nice that they break it down in different categories. So they'll have contemporary, sci-fi, period. And so you get to have, and short form, so you get to have different genres being celebrated. And so I think that's nice. But I just went through that, and then I went through basically just my gut feeling of what I think will end up getting nominated. And I'm agree with you 100% on Sinners being nominated. That has been in gestation for a while. There was a lot of rumors of there being a Blade movie with Ryan Coogler, and Ruth was going to be designing it, and it was going to be set in the 40s. And so a lot of these costumes were built, and this prep work was done for Blade. And then that didn't happen, and so they took it over and made this other film. And so it's my understanding that a lot of the background costumes came from the pre-production on Blade. That they just sold the costumes to themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I would honestly, I'd rather see a Sinners world. And because no spoilers to Sinners, but you do get some characters in the 80s that are also looking amazing. Or 90s. So I would love to see
I wonder if there is talk to do that, because it would make sense. It would make sense.
So much sense. And I mein, it goes right into like The Hunger and all those movies too. It just isn't, it seems like a no-brainer to me. And with these actors and and with Ryan and with Ruth, I would take my money now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So number 2 would be Frankenstein again, Kate Hawley designing. And I think now that because we did a deep dive, looking back on it now, I think that if this could have been a series, it may have been better. I think we had so much great visuals, and we had a lot of story here. But I think if we were able to spend more time with these characters and in this world, it would have meant a lot more. It just didn't have the emotional impact as an ensemble. This was very much Jacob Elordi's movie and that character. So I think we are spoiled in the beauty that they were able to create in some of these characters, and also in the what's the beautiful breakdown of Frankenstein. Felt like a real gift. This is my pick.
I loved it. I kind of, now that you mentioned that it could have been a series, I kind of think that you're right, because it didn't hit me as much as Sinners. Like Sinners had, I think, was the perfect length of time to tell that story. Whereas this one, it did
Perfect.
feel like there's so much going
Oh,
on, like you say.
it's
And
too
I
much.
like
It's too
when
much.
and Kate's sharing pictures of stuff, and I'm like, I don't even remember that. Like she's sharing stuff on
Yeah.
Instagram. By the way, she's very generous with that. She shares all of her, like all these behind the scenes, the processes.
It's
She
beautiful.
tags the creators. There's this one knitter that she is frigging amazingly talented. She actually just shared a sweater that's worn in Marty Supreme, and she said, I should tell you who it is. I can't remember her name offhand, but she said, "Oh, there's a
Just
sweater
DM
in
me.
Marty
Yeah.
Supreme." Yeah. And she
Uh,
said, I made this for another movie, but I noticed it like, because sometimes things get sold off and everything and get bought up by other houses or what have you. And she said, I'm actually really delighted that it's being reused and that it's on
yeah.
like Timothy Chalamet. So that's pretty cool, right? You go to see a
I
film and
mean,
you're like,
again,
that's the
you do
sweater I
good work.
made. Yeah.
You do
But
good work,
she
and
made
everyone's
those
gonna recognize it.
shawls like
Uh,
for Mia
which
Goth and
are
all that. Like what a
gorgeous,
talent.
gorgeous. What
And
a
this is the
talent.
thing with Kate. Like Kate is incredibly talented, but she surrounds herself with these people. She's built up these relationships over the years.
Yeah.
This is what happens. Like they make these wonderful relationships with crafters and makers and so on. And so anyway, so
And that's
I
where
think you and
I
I are,
feel like,
yeah.
yeah, I agree on that. And that's why I feel like I love working in the costume department, is because I get to work with all these different talented artists and craftspeople, um, and they get to do things they would never think to do. And so we're kind
Mhm.
of pushing each other as far as what's available and what we're how what we're thinking and how we can do this together. Um, but nothing excites me more than a deadline and an idea that we don't think we can accomplish, but we're going to get together and create this amazing thing. So Frankenstein really deserves, I think, the craft nomination. I don't think it will get above the line nominations or at least wins,
Yeah.
and so this is why
Yeah.
it's my pick for overall best costume design. My third pick is Wicked.
Yes.
Um, and
Which I
again,
haven't
I think
seen.
okay, so I I think it will be nominated. It is not one of my favorite costume films of the year. I think that they used a lot of their ideas up early in the first movie, and this goes across the board, not just with costumes. Um, but I think it is just a cultural touchstone, and it Paul Tazwell won last year
Oh,
the year
he's
before for his
incredibly
first
talented,
one.
right? Because
He's incredibly talented.
he's not just a film designer, he's also a theater designer. Is that correct?
He comes from theater, and
Yeah.
so that's where his background lies. And again, this is where everyone has a different
Hmm.
path towards designing. Um, this was a letdown for me in some ways. I think that there was a big miss with Glinda throughout the whole movie. Basically, I did not find anything there that I loved. There were some fit issues I had real problems with. Um, and the thing that everyone is like adding to cart from this movie is the sex cardigan. Have you heard this term?
Oh, no one who wears it? A sex cardigan.
Uh,
I love it.
Alphaba gets a sex cardigan.
Oh, wow.
And while I think, and like, again, if you see this knit, it is a beautiful knit. However, I
Yeah.
think it's just the wrong color choice for her. It ends up looking like, because it's gray, grays out a lot, and it ends up looking more dust bunny colored.
Hmm.
And so it just makes it more sad than it needs to be. Where I feel like if they pushed it to more of a lavender or purple color for her, even if it's like a black cherry color, it would have
Hmm.
been more fitting to her character and feel more romantic than but people want the dusty cardigan because I think it looks comfy.
Yeah. Um,
um
Anything else to say? You saw this though in the theater, right? Correct?
yes, yeah,
Oh, you did.
and that's
Okay.
where it's like
Yeah.
you get to really see every
Oh, yeah, for sure.
flaw.
Everything is so
So
big.
I think it's so big. I think it was in 3D.
By the way, if you guys are just joining us right now, Jed and I are going over movies and shows from 2025 that that we liked, and think that might get nominated for certain awards and so on. So that's where we're at right now, because I noticed that we're getting some new people coming in. And if you have
Welcome.
anything, oh, hello, Angel. Angel over is here. Hello. If you have a favorite you want to share with us, please let us know, and we can talk about it. Is there anything else you want to say on this one?
We're good.
Okay, let me find my PowerPoint. By the way, I'm testing on doing PowerPoint today.
I mean, the transitions. Who is that guy?
It works better for me. And I was telling Jed the reason why is because in StreamYard, which is the platform we're using, everything is so tiny. And I'm noticing that, well, I've always had to wear glasses, but I just noticed as I get older, I have a harder time with small things. So I have a big screen of this. So next,
you have a bigger monitor.
Yes, I have it on a big monitor. So next, can I just put it up and you can talk about it?
Please. What's next? Hamnet, which
Hamnet.
I've not seen yet. I've not seen yet. I've only seen the trailers. But I'll say one of my favorite movies is Shakespeare in Love, designed by
This is what
Sandy
I was
Powell.
thinking. Is it kind of like that? Is it kind of a Shakespeare in Love? Is that what sort of it is, or do we know?
This is I think a hard drama.
Okay.
Where to me Shakespeare in Love is just a rom-com that got transported back, to Tudor era. But this to me feels like everything was dyed with natural dyes. Mm-hmm. Everything feels of the earth. And I think that's a big part of grounding what could be pretentious or too stuffy. And so I think taking that Elizabethan and making it feel timeless in a way with these two, kind of out of context. And then we get to see the Globe Theater as well. And so I think having that immersion into, and I always love behind the scenes of a theater production,
Me too.
look. And so, seeing how things would actually be portrayed. So you have the day-to-day life of people, you have the actors on stage in their performance, and everything just feels so rich and thought, but not contrived. So definitely high on my list. And I think that if I haven't seen it, I think I would award the Oscar to this movie. Mm-hmm. But again, I think that it's going to be Frankenstein.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. It was at TIFF, and I didn't get to see it there. It was sold out. But I was going to say Malgoska. I'm probably saying her name incorrectly. I mentioned that she was on the season 1 of Stranger Things. She's a costume designer, but she also did the Green Knight, which I loved.
Beautiful.
It got mixed reviews. The costumes are absolutely stunning in that movie, though.
Yeah. Right.
And I did a review of it, and I was like, okay, this is a super independent film. I don't know a lot of people are going to see it, and then I tried reaching out to her and I didn't hear back, which is funny because this is so weird. I would say 9 times out of 10 when I reach out to somebody, they respond to me, which is weird. I don't know why they do. I probably wouldn't respond to me, but they do. But she didn't. So I was a little bit disappointed because I really wanted to talk to her about the Green Knight. So I'm really happy for her. Super talented designer. And
you'll talk to her this year.
Maybe. Well, I'm putting together a little wish list. Because I have this one publicist who I work with sometimes, so I'm going to send her a little wish list of who I want to talk to and see if she can help me out. So Angel Over says it's supposed to be about the love story and marriage of Shakespeare and his wife, and their death of their young son. Like Shakespeare in Love, it's completely made up. Oh, okay. So it's a what if story then, I guess, right? But I love actually even this poster. It's very painterly looking, right? It looks like a painting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Paul Mescal, I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff, but he's one of those ones to watch. Like he's, probably going to be a big star, if not already. I don't know who Jessie Buckley is, though. What has she been in?
She's amazing. I first came across her in a film. I forgot what she plays. She's Irish, and she plays she's a country singer, or she's singing country music.
Okay.
She's absolutely amazing. So I think that while people are they like the movie a lot, it's really Jessie Buckley's movie.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So next, the final one. Again, another movie I haven't seen, but I am really looking forward to it. I've saw some really great reviews. is Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme. Again,
Timothée
this is,
Chalamet.
I think, one of those fully realized worlds they've built, and that seems harder and harder to do in this day and age, where you don't get the budget, especially for a movie like this. I don't know what the budget was, but being able to do this vintage world. This is 1950s, I believe this is set in New York, and maybe some sides in New
By the way,
York.
it's Mayako Balizzi
As a designer, who I think has only done other movies with the Safdie brothers. Like, she's done Uncut Gems. So she comes at it from I think a stylist perspective, and so that's whenever she's able to go in and pull out these great pieces like your friend's knitwear, and then just styling him to be a shaggy lead. Again, he's like swimming in his clothes, but it's such a good fit, and I think that a lot of people are going to love this movie in the entertainment community, and so they'll get a big push for nominations. So I was debating between One Battle After Another, which I think will definitely win Best Picture, but I think that this will get the nomination for costumes over Colleen, just because of it being a period piece.
Yeah, exactly. Well, period always, like, they were saying if it has a corset, it's going to be, I don't know, it'll always beat out. And contemporary rarely gets the love. That's just that was my personal favorite. And I haven't seen this movie, so to be fair. By the way, I love Timothy's glasses here. They're not quite round. They're kind of octagonal or something, which is kind of interesting. By the way, this is what's really weird. I don't know if I can zoom in on this. Oops. Kevin O'Leary is in it. Kevin O'Leary is like Canada's one of Canada's most hated people. Okay. We really hate him. He's a businessman, but it's funny that he's in this movie because I think many of us have always thought he was a bit of an actor, and he wasn't really being, because he's from like Dragon's Den, and I think in the States they call it Shark's Den or something. It's like you do a pitch for a TV Shark Tank. Yeah. So in Canada we call it Dragon's Den. That's where he started, and then he went to Shark Tank in the States. But he's a Canadian millionaire, I guess, and so everyone really hates him. Kind of like how we hate Jordan Peterson. Like, we don't even want Jordan Peterson. So it's sort of like that with him. But apparently he's really good in this movie. And I'm like, yeah, he's good in this movie because he's probably been an actor the whole time. He hasn't.
Yeah, his whole life.
And I think they typecast him a bit.
That's why it works.
Well, because the one thing, Kevin, from Shark's Tank, thank you. In Canada, it's Dragon's Den. But yeah, there's this woman in Canada. She's a business entrepreneur, and it was so funny because she would be on the show with Kevin O'Leary, and everyone loves her. Her name's Arlene Dickinson, and she is a self-made woman, and so the two of them would fight all the time, and so everyone was endeared to her because of the fact that she would just trash this guy. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I always have to mention something that's Canadian, because I always say we're a neurotic. Okay, so that was for movies. Now, I know you were talking about the Costume Designer Guild's award. Wow, that's coming up in February. So can you explain to me the Costume Designer Guild Awards? Is it based on 2025 movies and shows and shorts, or how does that work? Like,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when, what their physical year ends up being. Because nominations came out maybe in early December, November. I have them here. I'm not a member of the guild yet. I'm working on that, but that's a separate from our typical union. So we all operate under IATSE, which is stage technicians. And so when you get into costume design, for those of you who are interested in getting into the business aspect of it. You can choose to join the union here in the States, and that is the guild out of California, the CDG. And then there's also, I believe, so the numbers are tricky for me. There's also one out of New York you can join, and that is the Scenics Guild. And so you're in there with, production designers, costume designers, assistant costume designers, and I believe shoppers now are part of that.
Oh,
And it
okay.
just helps everyone, get a little bit more representation and community. Um, and then they also don't just nominate guild members. They nominate all the films from they're pull from all the films released. And I believe is it the CAFCAD there? Is that similar?
Yeah, so in Canada, it's an alliance. So you have, it's like
Mhm.
an association. And so I'm a new member. I just joined a year ago. And so, yeah, they do the same thing. They do a call for nominations. I don't know if you guys do you do a call for nominations? Is that how it works? Or
It should be,
with the guild,
within the
if they do
guild.
a call and
Mhm.
then within the
Yeah,
guild, and then the members vote. So I'm assuming it's
correct.
the same kind of thing. I thought I looked at the nominations. I thought they were all really good. The only one that I was like, I would have loved to have seen Severance in there. It
Mhm.
Instead of like USS Callister, the episode of Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
I think Severance, I think, deserved that spot more, in my opinion, than the Black Mirror episode. Because the USS Callister had already been done, and so they're kind of
Mhm.
they were just sort of redoing it,
Mhm.
because they had done an earlier episode of USS Callister, and then they did a sequel to it in Black Mirror, which I think was the first time they had done picked up the same story again.
Right.
So
Right.
the costumes on the USS Callister had already been established and designed and everything, so I didn't feel that was new and fresh. Whereas in Severance, it was like she's just like Sarah Edwards to me is like a goddess. I
Mhm.
absolutely adore her. So I just thought she deserved that, in my opinion.
I'd be curious to know. I have not watched Black Mirror. I kind of had to take a break.
Oh
um,
yeah,
but I think that uh, maybe the thought is to also with
Jesse
Severance.
Plemons was in it.
I did watch the first one. I watched the first one. I've not watched the second one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I watched the first McAllister. And so the idea of Severance having one, I'm not sure when. It may not be in the window of nominations. I'm not sure whenever it aired and how that breaks down. But I would say maybe because great, reading the notes as well. I think that having Severance, the impression of Severance being kind of a bottle show in the I'm sorry, what do you call it when they're in the workroom, the office?
Yes.
Maybe that detracts from like the actual big picture of the show and how great it is. I think that show specifically is, from what I understand, is a very, I call it like a very small needle to thread, a very tricky
Yes.
needle to thread,
Yeah.
because it is such a tightrope walk. So I think that's where they've really fine-tuned that, and they also live in an absurdist world too, so they've been getting to play and keep it in that world. And again, I've commented before, but I think that the tailoring on that show is impeccable. Like,
Well, like
I
Sarah,
love it.
everything is hand tailored. Like it's
Yeah,
all handmade. Like
yeah.
they don't buy stuff off the rack. So it's just like, and Sarah said, I had an incredible interview with her. Adore her. She was saying that they just had to, because they were trying to create this particular world, and you wouldn't have been able to do it. So like Ben's costumes, or sorry, not Ben, what's his name? I forgot. Lost my mind. Okay, I'll figure it out. The main guy.
Yeah.
It's like the same. I was thinking Ben Stiller, but I'm thinking Adam.
But he was also
Adam.
Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, his outfit. She said they found this Italian tailor and who do beautiful, beautiful work. So they were able to pick out the palette, because the palette had to be very specific.
Yeah.
And the lapels had to be a certain width, and the ties had to be, so they had to have this very specific. Some of them have events, some of them don't have events, some of them have pockets. So she was like, it was like kind of mad scientists, like how they approached it. So, but it's one of those things that if as a viewer, it's not going to make you go, oh my God, like, wow, that's amazing. Except for like, for, oh, what's his name? And let me just look this up. It'll be easier for me. So I don't have to try to remember.
I will say it was I think the Gwendolyn Christie character came on this season.
Yes.
So having
Yes.
that whole like
Her-
subsect of workers.
Yeah. Adam Scott. That's it.
Adam Scott. Differentiating from them in the innies and the outies is so well done.
Yes.
I've seen
And
like
then-
some behind the scenes of their VFX and just how much that whole world is really tightened in to be so artificial and contrived.
It is. Oh, sorry. It was Milchek I was trying to think of. So
Yes,
Milchek is
Milchek.
kind of like, he's like a style king, right? So,
Yeah.
but she was telling me just some things that, she originally had thought of. And then Ben was like, Ben Stiller, sorry, he's the showrunner. Ben Stiller was like, well, actually, we were kind of thinking this. And she goes, oh, okay. Like when they went on the Ortbo, like when they went on the little outing. So she had some, like she was thinking they would put them in, like Northern Reflections or whatever you call it, like the outerwear, the weather outerwear that people wear when they go into the wilderness. And they were like, no. We were thinking it should be more like in keeping with Keir Egan, like maybe like a fur coat, like, So that's why she went with this Russian kind of like,
and
and these
so
really
good.
cool.
Yeah.
It's so good, and then underneath they're wearing like kind of pioneer clothing. They're wearing like Henleys and suspenders and high-waisted pants, and just like the thoughts that went into it. So, but I think the average person might just watch it and not appreciate that, the level of detail. And then Gwendolyn Christie's character, like there's this one scene where she's bringing the goat to be, sacrificed, and she's wearing this complete folk costume. Just the whole, it's so nutty.
It's so nutty.
So anyway, so that's why I was a little bit, it was funny too, because it didn't get acknowledged, I don't think, in season 1 either. And I was also upset because Andor didn't get nominated in season 1. And I remember I had Lindsay on, and I said, hey, Lindsay, like, why didn't Michael Wilkinson get nominated for Andor? And she said, wait, let me check. And she looked and she said, oh, no, he is a member, because she thought maybe he wasn't a member of the Guild, but he was. And she said, sometimes it's like a popularity contest.
Oh, so, truly. And
know,
a lot of it is like, again, just like getting the job. It's just being around. And so being in LA and going to the events and the FYC
because he's in
stuff.
Australia. Yeah, he's not.
And probably filming something else somewhere else.
Sarah's in England, so I don't know. Maybe it's just not being around. But anyway, so that was the one that when I looked at it, I'm like, yes, everything here looks great. That would have been my one thing. And then last year it would have been that Andor would have been included, but they are this year. So it's looking good. Sorry. You had a couple of other films that were your honorable mentions that I wanted to add, if that's okay.
Sure.
We can go through. Let me just find them here. Okay. So first one, you also had Weapons as an honorable mention.
Yes. And I was like, again, I got to go work on it this year. I got to work with Trish, and
oh my God, I'm so jealous.
It was a great experience.
I gushed about Trish to you, so now you know. I didn't even. I think you might have mentioned this to me.
Yeah, it's all true.
She deserves all the gushing.
She deserves all the gushing, and again, just a great human being and a great leader. And
so you must have been thrilled that I was going on about this movie.
I love it. I love it. I love seeing what people, because again, I came into this late in the game, so I came on. I think we'd already started principal photography. I came on to watch. I was a on-set costumer for Josh Brolin during the parent-teacher conference scenes. So anytime that he's like with we got to kind of establish our whole world there. And then I came on to watch all the elementary school scenes, and then I got to watch all the weapons, the kids separately. So we like the poster is one little girl who's like very special and dear to me. Who it was just she and I working that night, and it was nobody else because she's just running across, and it's all the video camera footage. We would stay late every night, and one or two kids would stay late, and we would film their running scenes from out of their houses.
Oh, so the kid in the poster. The reason why I didn't use it is you can't see anything.
Oh, but that's like
That's
she is
so
so
awesome.
great. Yeah, she's got a little like tuft of hair. Everything else is like very
Yeah.
shaved. And I said, all right,
And
how
she's
many
in
takes?
jammies, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she's in her jammies. And I said, how many takes are we gonna get this in? And she said, uh, one. And I said three, and we got it in one take. Like she ran across that
Wow.
she ran
Good for
across that
her.
cul-de-sac.
That's
We nailed it.
amazing.
She's so amazing. Her name's Elizabeth. Loved her. But my biggest takeaway from that is I'd probably seen this prior to working on the show, but it was a commentary on kids' clothing and how so much of boys' clothing are predator animals and so much of girls' clothing are prey animals, and how we're kind of like set up as a gender early on for these roles. And so I'm like,
That's
you know,
amazing.
I'm like costuming and I'm like putting all this stuff together on these kids. And, you know, Trish has like done all this, you know, work in the beginning. None of it held true to that statement. None of it was a predator. No one was a prey. I mean, it felt like almost like she had gone out of her way to do that, but it was innate that she didn't choose the obvious answer for anything. So even on these like little kids' pajamas, it's working in a way, you know, like is not the easy answer. And then, without any spoilers, at the very end, all the kids congregate, and you see them
Hmm.
together
Yep.
in a overhead, and seeing all of those colors work so well together in that moment, as we're filming it, like knocked my socks off. Um, we're also spraying everybody with blood, and Trish is wiping everybody down with blood. And they went to the butchers and got more like raw meat and like organs to throw around.
Oh my
So
God.
it's one of my like
They do that.
funnest
Actually, they did that
memories.
on Alien. That's funny you should say they did that in Alien. They went
But
to
we
the
were
butcher
doing
and
it.
got like,
We were, so gross. We were doing this in
it's
broad
nasty.
daylight in a neighborhood, and we have. I mean, you don't see it, but like around us is the entire neighborhood drawn out to like watch. Everyone's got their chairs set up and like watching the movie being made. Just it was hysterical. So definitely, I love this movie. And then I
Was
also got
there
to
like
work.
soup on them? Was there soup?
Oh, there was layers of soup because we had, and that was like
Yeah.
one of the things that you had to establish. You never get to see it, but they, you know, they're there for such a period of time. Do they
Yeah.
have their first night being, I know, running out of the house? Then they had being in there and having some soup. Then they had being in there for a while and they were like dusty and had soup
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. All I kept
And then
thinking
they
when
could
I'm
all
watching
party.
that scene was, oh my gosh, I've got arthritis in my knees. What would happen? I got arthritis. I have to stand for days. We're giving away. Hopefully, we're not giving it.
uh,
Oh, did you get to meet the
but
director?
yeah,
He seems so interesting.
oh my
Like, what
gosh,
an interesting guy.
he it was very much like Trish, one of the crew.
Yeah,
So he was always out there supporting everybody.
I love
I
that.
I've never had as much communication with the director as I, well, maybe not true, but definitely one of the most involved with everyone, just as a team.
Yeah,
So I would work for both of them, you know, for free. They are excellent storytellers and they're excellent people.
yeah.
And
It's
the whole
Zach
cast was
Kreger, by
amazing.
the way. I just want to
Yeah,
mention
Zach
is the
Craig,
director.
director,
Yeah.
amazing.
By the way, and if anybody has not seen Barbarian, who it was his other movie, oh, again, one of those movies. Like I loved it. I went into Weapons not knowing anything about it. That's why I don't want to ruin it for anybody. And I
Yeah,
went into a Barbarian not knowing anything about it. And so many layers on it, right? So many layers. So that's what was really cool. Very cool that you work with Josh Brolin. And it's interesting also, I don't want to give too much away here again, because when we first see him in the movie, we don't see him, right? We
right.
just see the back of him. So was there a lot
Mhm.
of attention paid to the back of his
For
costume?
me,
Yeah, and that's why I'm wondering.
yes.
You're
And then
like, this
he
guy's
was
going to be on camera, but from the back. That's
and he was like
unusual, right?
he's
For
like
a leading
laying on,
man.
I know, he's like laying on the ground and like doing sit-ups and like joking around. I'm like, okay.
I got to get the
Let's
lint
go.
roller out
Yeah.
now. I got
But
to
he
get
was
the,
great. He
yeah,
was great. And then oh God, Ben, our principal, was great. I mean, just everybody.
yeah.
It was a really great cast.
That's wonderful. Anyway, I highly recommend. That's another movie I highly recommend. I already mentioned that
So shout
earlier.
out to Weapons. And then I also got to work on
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thunderbolts, which is my
Okay.
next one, I
Yes. And
believe.
by the way, I love that movie too. Let me see here. It actually
So,
was because there's been a lot of superhero movies. Some of the hero movies lately have been kind of a disappointment, but this one was actually a really solid movie. You didn't work on this one though, did you?
I did. And so it's one of those like a good I first got to work with Sonia and Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Or Far From Home? One of those.
I think it's Far
And
From
then,
Home.
and then so it's just an amazing, again, designer, amazing leader. I've never worked in a more laid back or maybe even organized department as they ran. And this is a huge cast of superheroes where we had, so it was like 6 principal actors, all with their own personal
Right.
costumers, because those suits are so involved and there are so many pieces and layers. And we are shooting in the summer, and so allowing them to have breaks and cool off and resetting these costumes. We had a whole shop that was just maintaining these costumes because of the wear and tear that comes out on them. And again, these are also for the stand-ins, for the photo doubles, all that as well. I worked a
Yeah, like
background
there's
on this show.
David. There's David there. He looks like, well,
Yeah,
actually, now that I'm looking at this, it looks like as Hopper, he kept that beard.
he did, and that was
So,
part of it. Yeah,
okay.
so where he
Yeah.
gets a little militia in for Stranger Things, but it works in this role.
Hmm.
He's so good here. And again, I think this is a movie where it's like superheroes, but we got to scale down. So I got to work with a lot of the background actors and setting up some of the, we get to see some more world building in this show. Um, but for me, it was more just a shout out to this amazing team putting this together and being able to manage it with such just grace and camaraderie. It was just an amazing project to work on. Again, I would follow
Now,
these people anywhere.
were some of the costumes carried over from the previous film? Like, or sorry, I'm not sure what the
I think
previous film was, but
yes.
the
So, well, there's so
Romanovs.
many people coming from different places. So I think had we've already established a lot of the superhero costumes
Hmm.
from the other ones. So it was a matter of her just refining it and making it work for these, and then being able to break it down.
Yeah.
And all that's why the show got to, I think, be as smooth as it was, is because we were able to lock in so many of the looks early on in production, and then we went to was whenever the strikes happened, so when the break happened, and everyone came back and we were like ready to go because we'd had everything kind of nailed down.
Yeah, I was noticing there's 2 Nepo babies in this poster, by the way. There's Bill Pullman's son,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's what's it, Goldie Hawn's son.
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn. What's his name? What's her
Kurt Russell.
husband's name?
Yeah.
Kurt Russell. Yeah, who
Yes.
he looks. By the way, Kurt Russell's son was in one of the Black Mirror episodes. That's the first time I ever saw him. One of the earlier ones, I think season 2 or 3. Angel Over says The Phoenician Scheme. Do you know anything about that movie?
This is
Wes
my
Anderson.
yes, it's one of my white whale. I was supposed to go and work on it in Germany and didn't get my visa in time. So
Oh,
this is a Milena Canonero special. Also
oh, Milena
beautiful
Canonero.
beautiful
Yeah,
work. Beautiful work on Phoenician Scheme. Again, I just don't think it got the hype
yeah,
the Wes Anderson had, and so I don't think it'll have much conversation going into the awards campaigns.
yeah. Now
But
the
this
next one. Oh, sorry. Did you have anything else to say about Thunderbolts?
nope.
A great movie, though. By the way, I really enjoyed it. Um, the next one I have is Avatar. Okay, I'm gonna be dead honest here. I will
Please.
not see this movie. I'm just not like into the Avatar universe. It's I've heard it's great. I didn't watch the other one. I just after the first one, I was just like, oh, it's okay, but it's not my thing. So that's
You're
just
not
being
alone.
completely honest. Yeah,
You are not alone.
and I
And
love
this
James
is
Cameron. I think he's a great director. Directed
and
some of my
I
favorite movies of all time.
again and yes, and he's a idea man. So I think that
Hmm.
this is a great idea. And why
Yep.
I gave it an honorable mention is because watching it, you know, I'm always trying to make sense of what's coming technology wise and then our practical day to day lives now. And so we're seeing kind of glimpses of like this world being built, computer generated, but still involving all the actors with the motion capture. Every costume was built by hand, by craftsmen on, models and then refined digitally, which is a whole new skill set that people are having to learn. And I'm so, excited to see what develops. But the fact that we're able to keep artisans working and prove that we can use technology for the benefit of everybody, I think that it's my hope that this becomes more of a video game. This is not our
Hmm.
primary source of connection to people, but I think it's a really good video game. And so I think if you could drop yourself and play along with this, it would be amazing. As as a movie, you're not missing anything. But I think there are
Yeah,
some
I
really
mean,
stunning
there's people who
visuals.
love it though. There's people who love
They
it. I
do.
just was like, I'm just trying to imagine like dedicating my whole life to this franchise. I was just like, I remember when the first one came out. It's been like it was well before I got married, or no,
I
maybe I
think
was just married. I was just
this
married.
feels
So
more
20,
like a
about 20 years ago.
yeah, it feels like a proof of concept more than a
Hmm.
movie that should be on its own right. But we need those people making this stuff to be able to push the technology further, um, and then
Yeah. Oh,
see.
thanks, kitties. How are you?
Katie,
Oh, she's
yeah,
saying the
definitely,
first movie
yeah,
is literally the next three movies, but the tech changes are really amazing.
yeah. So you're not missing anything as far as the story goes or the
The
characters,
first one's like
but
Fern Gully. It's basically Fern Gully, right? It's
absolutely right. It's
yeah,
Pocahontas, it's Ferngully,
Pocahontas.
um, and but I think
He
just
is a
seeing
fellow Canadian, yes, that's why. But I am a big fan of his I am a big fan of his movies, like Aliens,
I
amazing,
mean,
Terminator series,
Terminator 2 changed my life. I mean,
Truth or
that's just like
Lie. Is it or True
True
Lies?
Lies, absolutely.
Oh my God, I love that movie. We watched it recently with kids. So I'm a big fan of his. And even Titanic too. You can't, I mean, yeah.
Oh, it's
I will
shout
not
out to.
stand for this Fern Gully slander. Sorry. Sorry, kitties. Okay. Another movie I haven't seen that you have on you had one battle after the other as well, by the way. So let me just
Yes,
bring that.
yes.
You had that as an honorable mention because the amazingly talented Colleen Atwood, who is probably one of our greatest. Someone was calling. It was funny. I was doing an interview with someone, and I was trying to figure out how to say the the new wave of designers, the up and coming designers versus the, I don't know. And then she said the icons, and I think that's a good way to describe her. Right? She's an icon.
Definitely. And definitely, I mean, very prolific. And that's, I think it's so
Yeah,
nice to see her break out of what the Tim Burton world, which
for
have
sure.
given us some absolute bangers. But
Yeah.
I kind of fell off from Wednesday, and I just wanted to see her creations. So being able to see her in a contemporary,
Let's get.
so I
Oops,
wanted
sorry,
to
wrong
shout
one.
out this. No, this is also, but she also designed Kiss of a Spider Woman, which I've not been
Oh,
able
she
to
did both
see.
of them. Okay.
She did both, so I put them together, and
Okay.
I think that both
Yeah.
of these should have been nominated. There should have been more love for it. Um,
Yeah.
I think
I've heard this is very good, and I was surprised to see that Diego Luna's in it.
I know
So does he
our
sing?
love. You have
Does
to stay
Diego
tuned.
Luna sing?
I have not seen it, but he does sing.
Okay. I
There
heard it. I heard
is
it's great.
yeah, because it was
And
on the theater for a
honestly,
week
J
and
Lo
then we couldn't
needed
see it.
it. J Lo needed it
Again,
because
I
she's
feel
been
like
having a terrible time of
yeah,
it.
I think this is made for her. I
Yeah.
think they could have done maybe some better arrangements. I definitely came up
Mhm.
in the Chicago cabaret theater world. It's just I love it so much, and
Well,
so
did Bill
seeing
Condon do
mhm.
Chicago? I feel like he did Chicago.
They did
The
Chicago,
director.
and then they
Yeah.
did Memoirs of a Geisha together. Um,
Yes.
and so now they're doing Kiss the Spider Woman. My only hope is that while I can't, I hope that she does a remake of Cabaret, and I get to work on it. That's like I'm just putting that out in the universe that we get
Yeah.
Colleen
There's been a lot of
Atwood.
cabaret. in like reiterations of it in theater. You've been seeing a lot of
Exactly.
it. By
Yeah,
the
we've
way,
had
I
it on
want
the
to just
West
give a little
End.
shout out to my good friend Ian Drummond, who worked on Chicago, and we had him on a live stream, and he gave me some really fun stories about Colleen Atwood. So
Uh,
so do a
yeah, I
little
did.
shout out to him.
Yeah,
Ian.
I get to watch that. It was a good interview. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
good that we get to see like this kind of uh, it's a high
Full
concept, you know,
circle.
then full
Yeah.
circle, but having this like 1940s Hollywood tribute moment in this kind of a gritty reality of a prison. I think just again a banger year for Colleen Atwood.
Absolutely. And by the way, Jennifer Lopez in this picture, she looks like she's 30 years old.
I know.
I
I
mean,
know.
she has aged very well. I have to give
Yeah.
that to her. Like she's
Yeah.
kept herself in very good shape.
Yeah.
But also, there's probably a little bit of airbrushing here too. And then the next one you have, so I think we went through all the movies, and then
There's some
we just have a
movies.
few TV shows that we were
Right.
going to touch on.
I think these were also
So I've got,
nominations.
yeah. Okay, so the first one is Hacks, which I've never seen, but I heard it's really great.
I love Hacks. I love the contemporary costumes in this, and it is because I guess I feel like it's characters you don't get to see much of, and they've
Yeah.
and this is sorry, Kathleen Hager as a designer. I've also got to work with also a extremely amazing human being, and to get this kind of the showgirl comedian world, and it's so specific. Watching like this 80s comedian who's now in 2025, kind of coming to terms with that. It's exactly how she would dress. I just feel like they absolutely nailed it.
Yeah. Is she
I
kind of
feel
like a
like
Joan Rivers type of character? Or
she's
like what,
she's a
or
Joan Rivers.
Joe
Yeah,
Behar?
she's got a QVC line, the whole nine
Yeah.
yards.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. For
So they
sure.
really
Okay,
they
Joan
lean
Rivers.
into this, and so she got her shtick, but instead of she's more California than New York. Where Joan Rivers is definitely a New York person. Here we have it in the California Las Vegas version, which feels very special. And then we get to see Ava, who is the our foil, gets to be our counterbalance. And I would say I do want to wear pretty much all of. I enjoy all of pretty much Ava's clothing. I feel like it's a lot of like my personal clothing, so she's become my personal style mood board. I just love the work they're doing over there. It gets to be a little bit glamorous and a little bit reality, and I think it's a lot of fun.
That's great.
There's some great characters.
The next one is now I haven't seen this, but I've heard all about this because, of course, Walton Goggins is in this show, and I've seen some stuff on his Instagram about it. So this looks like Danny McBride. This looks like a really fun show, and the costumes are kind of like, because I haven't seen it, but I understand it's a family who are like evangelical Christians, like, but are they like a Tammy Faye Baker type thing, or what's the deal with this show?
They do it in a way that it's tongue in cheek, and so you get the Danny McBride humor in it, and you get the these very strong characters, and so you get all these comedians coming in and really putting their stamp on it, and so they're not afraid to go over the top with the costumes, and because the performances are over the top as well. But I think on this show, it's funny because there's three siblings. And it's almost like one is very 70s, one is very 80s, and one is very 90s, and their like aesthetic that goes through.
I mean, John Goodman is he the patriarch?
Yeah, he's the patriarch.
The dad.
He's the dad, and you get to see him and Megan Mullally goof around a lot, and she kind of taps into this like CMT Bonnie Raitt look that I think is so special that we don't get to see very much of. And so it just feels like they got to play. And then on top of all that, you have Walton Goggins, who is playing, I think,
Billy Bob,
who's like, maybe 20 years older than he is. And he's completely over the top. All of his stuff is custom made 70s, almost like a Liberace style.
Totally. And he's got he's the one on the bottom left corner with the big white wig and glasses.
Right. So then they go into they have a show within the show called Teen Just, where he's a teenage Jesus. So you have those costumes. We also have a
Yeah.
flashback to Civil War era where
What?
Bradley Cooper is like the
Oh
great
my
great
God, it
great
sounds so
grandfather
outrageous.
playing this. So I mean, they get to just have like so much stuff thrown at them.
Yeah.
So I just feel like this team, and from what I've heard about Courtney as the costume designer, an amazing lead as well. So
Yeah.
just I want to support them having fun and playing and not being afraid to go big with the costumes.
Yeah. Now the next one is I just started watching this show, Palm Royale. It's
Mhm.
they've got 2 seasons now, and I just started watching the first season, and it's really fun. It's really funny, but again, it's a period piece, so that's always awesome. Costumes in this are amazing. Carol Burnett is in it. My gosh,
Carol Burnett, and
the
then
first
yeah, no spoilers, but Vicki Lawrence is in the season 2.
Vicky. Oh, okay. I didn't. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. But anyways, just a really fun design, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, I love. It's funny because this poster does it not look like an ad for Apple? Like it looks like when they.
Oh, I
I don't know
mean,
if it was
the
in the
complete
2000s.
synergy. Yeah, yes.
Totally. Like I think it
Absolutely.
was in the 2000s, and they did like the iPod ads, or they did something. I can't remember what it was. iPhones, and they had this sort of color. Anyway, but it really Kristen Wiig really great in this. She's a great actress.
She's great. This is Alex Friedberg.
She looks good in everything, by the way.
Designing.
She looks...
they do a lot of work for her, and this show is so playful and so again, everything is just being thrown at them. All these amazing actors are going to come in, make characters, and it just feels like they're having so much fun over there. This is the show that I want to work on, I think.
Oh yeah.
So that's why it's here in my honorable mention.
Yeah. And the location shots are gorgeous. You really feel like you're in the world. You really feel like you're there. Christina Johnny. Can you tell me you say her name? Christina Johnny? Christine Johnny?
Ooh, who is?
She's like the foil. She's like the very wealthy Leslie Bibb is Allison Janney. Sorry, Allison Janney plays Evelyn. She's like her foil, Maxine's foil, Maxine Delacourt. Yeah. Anyway, great show. Costumes are gorgeous. Jewelry too, beautiful jewelry.
Yeah.
I do wonder if they've used real Tiffany jewelry or because or maybe they hired it or borrowed it or whatever. Maybe if you get on the show, you can let me know about that.
I'll try my best.
Okay. You be my inside guy.
Yeah.
Okay, next you have Andor, which is of course on my list. Hello.
Of course on our list. I know. I knew this would be on the list, and this is I think the best of the year all around. So I think kind on the high note
that's
here.
why you've bolded it. Is that why you've bolded it?
Yeah, this is why I bolded it.
You bolded it on my list here.
Yeah, I think this was like the one if I want to recommend anything from 2025, it would be Andor. And Michael's look.
It's funny looking at this poster. Like, look how many characters there are. I mean, they did a good job.
I know.
They got the Resistance and they got the Empire, but there's a lot of characters to follow along, and so I think that they did an incredible job helping us, follow along with the costumes. Right. And Michael Wilkinson, who is, I'm a major fan of his, and of course, I had the great privilege of talking to him, which was like probably one of the highlights of my life. To be able to talk to him. So about a Star Wars show.
The next one is a set visit. We're going to get you on set. We'll get you behind the scenes reporter.
I would love to do that. So do you have anything to say about the show aside from me gushing over it?
Turning it over. Yeah, no, this is all, I mean, we've said it all before. But yeah, this is definitely the highlight.
So you have this one. Okay, so Andor is for sure on my list. And then this one, the studio. This is the type of show I don't think would necessarily get that much attention costume-wise, but the costumes in this are so good. Catherine Hahn's costumes. Actually, I love Seth Rogen's costumes in this, but Catherine Hahn's costumes are so outrageous.
This is Cameron Lennox, I believe, designing for the studio. I
Let
just
me look
think
it up.
that
Yeah.
isn't. Yeah, Cameron Lennox. This is one of the ways that it doesn't have to be on paper, but you can definitely meet the mood board here. Um,
Yeah.
it being kind of this homage to 70s filmmaking and these people love. It's just a perfect blend of production design and costume design. Everything feels so expensive and chic.
Hmm.
Um, even though a lot of it, I mean, some of it looks vintage sourced. Everything just feels true to the characters, even though it's an extremely tight color palette. I would say it is on par with Severance in that regard. How tight that walk rope is, or yeah,
Yeah,
rope walk.
absolutely.
There's also a show that a lot of it is done in one shot or made to look like one shot. So you're having a lot of multiples. You're having again all the doubles, all the stand-ins. So and I mean, the show feels chaotic. I hope that their background in real life is smooth. I honestly, it's funny to say that because I did stick on Catherine Hahn's costume some because everybody else was so flawless. They kind of all blended in, and
Hmm.
then she is so jarring. But like that is also that character. So I totally get the point of it. I just wish it wasn't so logo heavy. That it was done other ways. But that's definitely the point they're making there with that character. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, her character is just kind of intolerable as well. Like, so I think her clothing is
but
intolerable.
also, yeah, but
You know,
also
people who
she's
wear
white
logos are kind of
and
slightly
tolerable.
intolerable. Yeah, and it's funny though because the Seth Rogen character, he's just like he's kind of a village idiot, I think, a little bit, right?
Yeah.
He's super insecure and he wants the actors to really like him. Like, I
Uh,
guess he's based it off of a few real people, but he is always his house is
yeah.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
and then his the way he dresses and is impeccable. So he
Impeccable.
does have that. He has a couple of, and like when he has a girlfriend over or something, he can make a beautiful a cup of coffee. Like he has some nice skill sets that he has, right?
He
Oh,
does.
here, I'm gonna make you a
Uh,
would you like a cup of coffee? It's like a little barista, so he has some skill sets
he does.
that
And I
are,
also I really identify with him because I feel like that's what I feel like on the inside.
you kind of feel for him in a way. Like when he's trying to come
Of
off as an artist,
course.
it's funny because I saw something recently where, oh, I know what it was. Okay, so the show Pluribus, which is also Apple. This is why I find it funny. So Pluribus is on Apple and it's a Vince Gilligan show. And there's I don't know if you haven't seen it, I don't want to give it away. But in the season finale, they sent, I guess, a treatment to the executives, and the executives were like, you know what? It needs something else. That's just not enough weight. There's not enough gravitas to end the season, to conclude the season. So Vince said it was a very collaborative relationship, actually, with the executives. They really liked them. They thought they were very smart people, and they said, sure. So they made the change, and the change was awesome.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, well, there's an example of an executive coming up with some kind of
Hmm.
creative solution for something, and then feeling like it's a collaborative thing. But I think what's going on with him is this is like an extreme situation, right?
Oh yeah, this is a
Uh,
farce. I mean, I
a
I
farce,
think
yeah.
before this
But
came out,
Bryan
I just
Cranston,
watched.
if Bryan Cranston doesn't get a nomination for this movie or this show, I should say,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Speaking of Vince Gilligan, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Bryan Cranston, guest star, amazing.
yeah.
Catherine O'Hara, amazing.
Oh, Catherine
Um,
O'Hara is great as
yeah,
well. Yeah,
this
the whole
show,
cast is great,
it's so well done. Um, Again, it's
and
contemporary
the guest
at its
stars were
best.
really good, like Anthony Mackie and
Oh my gosh.
Zoe Kravitz and all that, and uh, Megan. Oh, who is it? Or Canada's? There was a Canadian actress in it. I can't remember her name. Sarah Polley was in
Yeah,
it.
oh my gosh, she was like the best. I'm like, why? I want a whole Sarah Polly movie now.
Yeah, I
I
know.
miss her. I miss her.
Me too. Okay, so we've done your show. So I said, well, actually, this is on my honorable mention. So the ones that I have added as well, because I'm more of a sci-fi fantasy girl. So
I knew
the
I could
ones that
count
I've
on you.
added. And I was really actually happy to see that Sharon was nominated for a CDC
Mhm.
award for The Wheel of Time, because she got shut out at the Emmys, and she was
Absolutely.
really, really sad. So I actually should send her a little note. I've had her on the show
And
a
again, this
couple
is
of times.
epic.
It's epic. Like, look at that ensemble. Who dressed all
It's
those
epic.
people? That's a lot of
A
people to
village.
dress in
It's a
3
lot of
seasons.
people.
So
And again, this is all made from her imagination.
absolutely. And then I mentioned already Severance, so I have that I mentioned already why I had that on there. And there's one of Ben's very well tailored suits that was made in Italy. I think the fabric's from New York, though. No, actually, no. She told me that they have they have their own fabrics, and she was able to order from the fabrics they had. That's what she told me. That's really fun.
Great.
And he
Good
might
to
have
know.
Event or not Event. And then I have the Gilded Age. I have to have the Gilded Age in there, right?
Well, you have to love to talk about it.
Yeah, I should
The
have
show-
you on to talk about it. Have we done a Gilded Age together? We haven't. Oh,
We did a
do
Gilded Age. Yeah, it's
Yes,
the show I
we
love
did.
to hate.
Season 3. So I don't even know. This might not even be the right poster. This might be season 2, actually. So anyway, but So I think it got nominated, I believe, for CDC, and I know, and then and finally the last one. This is my favorite contemporary show, is The White Lotus.
White Lotus.
So those are mine. So Alex Bovard is The White Lotus. The Gilded Age is Kasia Walika Maimone. I always butcher that. And then Sharon Gillum is Wheel of Time.
Yes.
And Severance Sarah Edwards, who I adore. And Michael Wilkinson. Oh, I have a few honorable mentions. So let me see what they are here. Do I have them here? I don't have pictures of them, but I have. So I mentioned Pluribus already. Really kind of interesting design, because it's sort of it's Vince Gilligan. The costume designer did work on Better Call Saul, so she's she's worked with Rhea Seehorn Rhea Seehorn actually did a very nice compliment, saying, "I don't even need to look at myself in the mirror, because I trust my hair, makeup, and wardrobe person so much. Like, I just put it on and I'm like good to go." Next, the Chair Company. I interviewed the costume designer. It is so fun, so different, and the design is like, one of the things I loved is she used a lot of vintage pieces, which is really cool.
And make it feel realistic.
The studio. Very realistic, feels super lived in. Then I had Murderbot. I had the designers on for that, which was also nominated. I think it was nominated for a CDC. Foundation.
Oh, beautiful work.
Season 3.
Beautiful work. Yes.
Beautiful work. And sadly, that is, sorry, you have to remember the name of the designer. She passed away. So that was her last.
Shauna Tropic.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So that was Shauna's last work. I think she had, done The Mandalorian. And I think she might have done, there was a couple of Star Wars shows she had done.
Yeah. Yeah, she did and I believe on Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yes, that's it. Yes, sorry. And then, and the Sandman. I thought, like, you know what? It didn't get a lot of attention but the designs on a fantasy show, beautiful. And then finally 1923, which is is nominated for a CDC award. And it's a sort of like 1923 is the era. So, and it's multiple, like, sort of, we're following multiple characters, and just beautiful, beautiful costumes.
That was Gabby Acosta.
Yes. Gabby Acosta is I interviewed her, and she's the assistant, and I think it's Alex. Oh no, what's the name of the designer? The other designer.
It is.
So many people are reading.
I know. So I have to keep notes.
Yeah. The Gabby. Yeah. So she, I guess, she was considered Janie Bryant.
Yeah, Janie.
Janie Bryant. So I think with Gabby, she got a costume design credit because she did a lot of the Native American characters. And by the way, one of the characters from that 1923, she's in that new movie, The House of Dynamite, which is kind of bonkers, if anybody has seen that. Yes, Pluribus. I love Pluribus. She says, "Oh no, the Gilded Age." Well, you know what? I have some issues with some of the Gilded Age. I
have issues with all the women.
Breakdown. But you know, honestly,
I love the men's
the colossal The
I'm
fact that
taking.
they're building these costumes from scratch, like colossal. And a lot of the designs I do really like, but just some of the stuff I'm like, some of the technical aspects of it, not as much. But yes, love Pluribus. Highly recommend it. I'm watching a lot of TV lately. I got to stop doing that. Actually, it's funny when we were on holidays, like we went down to family and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is really good. I haven't been on YouTube. I haven't been on Instagram. Like I kind of unplugged a little bit, did a lot of cooking,
Yeah.
So that was actually good. But now I'm kind of getting back into it because I was telling you I'm binging The Lord of the Rings. Okay, so do you have a little bit more time just to quickly talk about what we're expecting for the new year? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like my favorite part.
Yeah, okay. I have a few pictures of stuff you had. I just plopped them in here. Let me start. So here I have, look, I made it. There's my title.
Ball drop.
I put a lot of work into that. I was like, does that feel like a 2026 font?
Yes.
It feels like a little bit modern.
Fresh. It's the Pantone color of the year.
Yeah, artistically speaking, 2025 was a great year, but some other ways it was not that great. So I'm really hopeful for this new year.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So let me see I'm just going to go through it and then you can comment on it. Bridgerton.
Yeah, I started on no.
You're breaking it up into two sections.
Unless you ask me to do a podcast on it, I will not do it.
No, I'm not either.
I fell off after season 1. It is
Same.
It is to me, again, we got the concept down, but it is to me like Gilded Age. It is 80% there and it just falls short and then it gets overblown. And so the people that love it, I'm so glad that you have this and I'm so glad it's there for you. It's not for me. And I don't think that the window they give themselves to say that this is fantasy, the costumes don't meet that fantasy to me. To me, they are definitely more like cosplay than this fantasy world that I want to live in. So I put it on here.
And season 1 was Ellen Moroznik. She's kind of a big deal.
She's a big deal and established some of the tones for the show, and which I wasn't exactly on board with. But then it took another hard right, and so again, I'm happy that for the fans that they get this. It's just not for me. But
this is probably young adults, like watching like the Buccaneers or Lady Jane, or although I heard that's really good.
Lady Jane is actually good costumes. Yeah, and
I probably would. When I was young, all those shows I would watch. But I probably just wouldn't watch them as much anymore because they're just or Rain or any of those shows. Rain. I'm going to put that in its own little basket.
We love it. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you and I had talked about doing a rewatch on it. We should do a rewatch and then we'll do a review of each season. Wouldn't that be fun?
That's a big one.
Megan Follows is in it. She's Canada's little girl too. All right, so next I'm just going to go through these. So just have
quick. Yeah.
Wuthering Heights. Oh my gosh.
This is probably like this is like my probably number one that I'm most excited about. I mean, this is going to be a appointment viewing now after we've gotten Saltburn, and now we get my iPad just went dead. I believe it's the designer on this one. Was it Joanna Johnston, or we get
is it the same? Is it the same designer as Saltburn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, is it Joanna Johnston?
Let me look. I think
it
is Jacqueline Duran. Sorry.
Oh, Jacqueline Duran.
I always get the two
Wuthering Heights.
Sorry.
Sorry. She did Little Women, I think.
Yes, and Anna Karenina, which is like another of my Mount Everest. Right, I have Crimson Peak with Kate Hawley. I've got Anna Karenina, over here with her. Super excited about.
And Emerald, but Emerald also did she just do Saltburn? Isn't that her movie as well?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a different take on it.
Which a lot of people were fussing about when the first stills came out, and I feel like you're judging it in a vacuum. You have to see it in the context that the artists are presenting it, and I think I'm just prepared to be floored. Is how I feel about this. So again, take my money. I'm going in with hope,
Yeah,
and I think this is going to be a big movie for me next year.
totally. Okay, next. Where am I here? Mother
This
Mary.
is
Now, I don't know
this is
anything
my
about this.
second. Okay, I came across this. I'm not sure why. It may have just been that. I think is it Bina designed it. Bina Diagler.
Oh,
Yes. So, I told you my love for Pedro Almodovar. So this goes back
yes.
to um, All About My Mother and Voltaire, which
Hmm.
are two very big costume design movies for me. Also big for me is when you get to see in a film people presented, and in this case, it's Anne Hathaway as a pop star, a Lady Gaga, Beyonce
Oh, I was
type
trying to figure out what was
character.
going on here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're seeing her in a performance gear. And so I think that's always such a good judge of costume design because you are showing a stage look without kind of the cachet of celebrity. So seeing it kind of removed from that. So it's one of those things like, do the clothes make the man or the man make the clothes? So seeing these two come together, again, you have a great presence in Anne Hathaway, but can she pull off being a pop star in these looks? And then the premise of the story is that she's showing up with her old collaborator, who is Michaela Cole, to make a look for her stage show. So it's like on this, I think it's like one night, and they come together, and it says it's not a ghost story. So you definitely know there's something going to be supernatural
Yeah.
about this or something, and a lot of tension in it. So I just feel like the clothes are such an integral part to the story, and the connection between a designer and a talent here. And I'm interested to see where that goes. So
Yeah. And it's A24, and their stuff is always
yeah,
really, really solid.
and so then
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, Angel Lord says, I've watched the Mother Mary several times. It looked amazing. Do you mean the
The trailer,
trailer?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Katie said, by the way, she said, I like the palettes. I think she's talking about Bridgerton here. I like the palettes for
ah,
season 1 and 2, but yeah, the costumes are just, they aren't over the top enough for me for how much the tone is over the top. I think, is she talking about Bridgerton here?
it sounds
Oh,
right.
yeah, the trailer. Yeah. Okay, so next we have,
Oh,
oh my God. Now I read that they're actually renaming it from,
yeah,
they're
interview.
renaming it to The Vampire Lestat from Interview with a Vampire.
And the
This
cynical part
looks
of
so
me
good.
looks so good. So I think that they changed the designer to season 1 and season 2, which maybe we should do a review on this series. But I
Yeah,
think we're absolutely outstanding, especially when you consider the amount of blood you have to work with on a show like this, because everyone
absolutely.
just
I
gets
know.
absolutely drenched in period costumes. But now I think we flash forward and we're, I think, in the 80s, 90s. I'm not sure how
Mhm.
they're taking it. But
That's what I've heard. Yeah, they're forwarding it to and then in that case, it kind of works then to change the designer. Like I think that like even I was thinking on Stranger Things because you've got these different,
mhm.
we're aging up the kids each. See, it kind of works for me to have a different perspective. But as soon as I saw this costume, and I think there's like a teaser trailer for it, I
Mhm.
was like,
Mhm.
oh my God. Like you can even see there's like scales in the jacket. Like I love that.
Exactly,
And there's
exactly.
oh, so good. And
Yeah, so we get
also the
the
ostrich
ultimate villain.
feathers,
Yeah,
the
I
ultimate
mean,
villain,
he's the
sexy
dandy and he's the
villain.
snake. Exactly.
Yes,
And
it's
then
so good.
this show is so amazing from top to bottom, but the
Yeah,
costumes really hold up, and so I'm super excited to see where it goes because it feels like we're
yeah.
in uncharted territory now. Um, but yeah, can't say enough good things about this series. Love it to bits.
Now I don't have a picture. I don't know that there was. You can tell me if there's a trailer. I couldn't find any behind the scenes pictures, so I just
No,
have the poster for this. So we got little devil and big devil.
there's
So
one
another.
teaser. There is one teaser that
Okay,
they've released, and there's been some commentary
sure.
already. So we have Devil Wears Prada 2, and I put this on my list. I did not bold it because I'm not. I'm always
Yeah.
anxious about this kind of stuff. But we have Molly Rogers taking over for Patricia Field here, which is a natural flow. But in the trailer, there was a big pushback because it showed Miranda wearing a Valentino Rockstud pump, which
Oh.
in 2020, and this is a contemporary fashion. This is how like deep it gets. But
Oh, you know,
if
it's
you're
funny,
like
and this is
that
perfect
specific
because
shoe,
oh, sorry to interrupt you, Jed. I was going to say this is
yeah, no,
perfect.
no,
Molly Rogers, she worked on Ugly Betty. That's
yeah,
perfect because it's kind of
I
got that
know.
same kind of yeah, and
But she did,
Sex
yeah,
and the
she did all
City.
that stuff. Yeah, so she really is a Patricia Field
This is her. Yeah, this is her wheelhouse.
mentee.
This is amazing for her. Yeah,
Yes.
and
So yeah,
it was Carol Cutshell and Lex Wood who were doing the Vampire
interview.
Lestat.
Hmm.
Yeah, amazing.
I think Carol. So I think Carol did season 1 and 2, and I think Lex takes over in season 3. I'm not
Oh,
sure on
okay,
that.
sure.
That's my
Okay,
impression anyway. I couldn't find much more research on that.
we'll know more. Yeah.
Yeah, same with Diverse Prada. I mean, I think it's Molly doing this with a little bit of Pat jumping in. So yeah, I'm definitely like it's on my we'll be watching for sure. I will be sat for this, but I'm skeptical.
Yeah, so we don't really know much about it, but it's an anticipation one. Now this one looks really funny. I love boosters. I couldn't really find too many pictures.
Yeah,
Because I
this is a
followed your
special
link.
one.
The,
I was
well, guess
yeah.
what it is that they're doing here.
They're shoplifting.
Yeah, this is Jed when he's out shopping a show. He has to use
Exactly.
every available pouch on himself.
Listen, I do that, but I've also had to steal stuff before too because
Yeah. Well, they call it Big Borough Steal, right? In theater.
when you're doing it,
And,
hey, that's right.
yeah, so I think
So
that's
this is Shirley Carrada from Everything
okay.
Everywhere All at Once
Yes.
is designing
Oh,
this.
amazing design. Yes.
And this is Boots Riley directing, so it's a high
Oh,
concept.
fun. Yeah.
And we have Demi Moore
It's
as a
Keke Palmer.
villain against Keke Palmer. And
Yeah.
I just think that watching the two of them in this kind of setting is going to be amazing. And then seeing Shirley help build this world out is going to be very special. So
Well, it's really funny too
highly
because
looking
like
forward to it.
they're on a shoplifting mission and like look, the one of them's wearing these super high mules and then the
Oh
other
yeah.
one's wearing like strappy sandals with orange socks. Like I mean, this is just like hilarious. I'm
You
assuming
gotta
it's a
look good.
comedy.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's a comedy.
If you haven't seen
fun.
any Boots
Okay.
Riley, please go watch them because
Yeah.
they're all really great visual films.
For sure.
Sorry to bother you, and I'm a Virgo, which
Yeah.
is the TV series he did. It was really well done.
By the way, if you're just joining us, we've been here for a while, but we're now talking about sort of the shows that we're really excited to see in 2026. So at movies, shows, and if you guys have one you want to share with us that you're excited to talk about, or you're excited and maybe you want us to see it, so we could, possibly do a live stream about it. I should do a
we'll put it on
poll,
the calendar.
actually.
We'll put it on the calendar.
I'll put it in the calendar. Now, this one, I didn't know anything about this. So they're okay. And I don't really know much about this. So you want to tell me?
This is, I want to say, like, this is probably the first toy I remember having was He-Man and Master of the Universe. And again, it's very tied into Stranger Things, this whole like mythology, this, and it's my first foray into sci-fi and that whole world. And I think years ago there was a talk about, I mean, it's been, a couple of times we've seen it in the 80s. It was brought to the TV or film. And then lately it's been a lot of cartoons. They're trying to revive, this IP. But now we're getting it with Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man. There's been some photos leaked where the costumes look, maybe people weren't as excited about it, but again, I think you cannot judge it out of context. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. My hopes are set to medium high, but just excited for something to get made like this again. This feels more like the summer blockbuster.
Is it sort of a satire, or is it straight, or do you know?
I wouldn't be surprised if after
Max
the success
Krause?
of after Barbie that they go a little bit in that route.
Sure.
But we'll see. I really hope it's a straight sci-fi, and I hope we get a kooky, and just revel in the genre of it all. But I wouldn't be surprised if they try to tame it down some after Barbie.
It says a young man on Earth discovers a fabulous secret legacy as the prince of an alien planet and must recover a magic sword and return home to protect his kingdom. So it sounds really fun. It sounds fun to me. Okay, next. What do we have here?
Next.
Oh, okay. This is on my list as well.
I knew it would be. I knew it would be.
Oh.
So here we have, is this Bina again, I believe?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I've lost my notes. Where is it here?
Yep, Bina Dagler doing again, taking over from our
talented.
Trish Somerville. So
yes,
this is
I know.
Sunrise on the Reaping.
I've read the book. It's so good.
I read the book as well. It was because of Trish that I got into the Songbird. Was it Songbirds and
Songbirds
Snakes?
and Snakes.
Then this one was coming out, and I had to see it. So here we get, I think, a prequel from the very beginning of Hunger Games. So we get to see young Haymitch, and we get, I guess, the most costume-heavy one. This feels like a bridge in between what Trish was doing and sort of our maybe 1940s aesthetic into this like 1970s aesthetic that they've chosen for this series, which I think is really interesting because it does help push it forward in a way that still feels part of the same world. And we get Glenn Close.
Oh my God, Glenn Close looks so good. Like I didn't even recognize her when I saw it. I know,
so she's our main villain. So we're going to get looks from her. We have Epi Trinket as a teenager appearing here.
Yes.
Elle Fanning playing her. So I think that's
and Ray Fiennes is playing President Snow.
So I definitely think we're going to get some amazing performances here, and maybe a sign of what's to come in the United States. We don't know.
Yeah. This actor, by the way, he was in a show called We Were Liars. I interviewed the designer for. He was very good in it. And I knew at the time when I was watching the show that he was going to be playing Haymitch. So I was kind of excited to watch him to see how he does. So I think he's going to be one of those. I think the designer told me that she could see that, he's going to be a big star. She could sort of see that. So this will only be the second thing I've seen him in. So, Werewolf. How do they say it? Werewolf.
It sounds good to me. So this is David Eggers.
Yes.
This is going to be Linda Muir designing it.
Oh, I know. And Linda's Canadian.
If you liked Nosferatu, this I believe is also going to be like in Middle English and kind of high concept.
Amazing.
So you know how authentic everything was in Nosferatu. So I'm here for this to really get dropped into this time machine.
And I think Robert Eggers did The Green Knight as well, if I recall. I think so, but I could be wrong. No, he did The Witch. And he did The Lighthouse. And I think those are all Linda. I think she did them all. And then she and Nosferatu, of course, right?
Yes. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is really exciting. And I kind of like that we don't. Oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it. I always call him, like, it's funny because I was speaking with, did you work on, no, I don't think you did, on the, what's it called? I lost it. Never mind. It'll come to me later. Jed, my memory's terrible.
We're here for you.
The Stuntman. No, it's not called The Stuntman. With Ryan Reynolds.
Right. Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy, yes. Did you work on The Fall Guy?
I did not.
Oh, okay. So I interviewed the designer, and so I was like, I kept calling because there's like Aaron Taylor Johnson, he was in it, and then there's Anya Taylor-Joy. So I was like calling them Anya Taylor Johnson or something, or Anya Taylor. Yeah, I was combining the two of them because they both have these three names. But anyway, he's going to be in it, and of course he's hot. And Willem Dafoe, who is, I think, pretty much in, and Lily Rose Depp is going to be in it again. So
yeah,
you're working with the people that they love, right? By the way, so Angel Over says Sunrise of the Reaping is so heartbreaking. It is really.
I know.
It is really heartbreaking. And then it kind of makes you understand why Haymitch is an alcoholic in the future, right?
Agreed. I mean,
Yeah.
I was very skeptical about going back to this world, but
Yeah.
Suzanne Collins really did it right.
Oh, she did. She did a great job. Now I've added this because I think I went through yours. This is technically 2025, but it's moving. We've only had a few episodes so far.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing costumes. And I think this is Dana Pink did
This
the
is
costumes.
Dana Pink. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who've worked on it, and I just feel like this is one of those shows, again, they got to be having a lot of fun in there because they just get to go into the fitting room with bits and baubles and come out with these amazing costumes. I know
it's so good. And
Dana
what I
took
love in
over.
this season. Sorry, go ahead, Jed.
Okay, Dana took over in season 2, so she was coming into this world fresh.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see how it's changed under her because she's definitely a very high taste level.
I love her work. I was going to say one of the things that's really great is there's been a few additions to the season. Like one of them is I can't remember the actor's name. He's sort of like they show him in flashbacks, like into it's kind of a retro future, so it has a 1950s aesthetic, and then Walton Goggins as well, Cooper Howard, and so she's done these beautiful like looks for the actor. Let me look it up. You guys will probably know in the chat. Honestly, I can't remember anything anymore. I was like sitting talking to my sister the other day about something, and I'm like, I can't even remember. This is what menopause does.
I've also just like using our brain more and less research.
We're using our brain. I know. Well, normally if it's a show that we're talking about, I normally have,
yeah,
I have it in front of me.
This is a spaghetti episode, right? We're just throwing everything at the wall.
Exactly. So
Man,
yeah,
that feels like epic. I'm so glad to see people having fun and telling these kind of stories, even though it is from a video game.
Totally.
They've gone in and developed a whole world here, and they get a lot of money behind it. So I'm glad to see people getting to make and do these kind of things.
Well, when we were down at my family's home, like over the holidays, so my niece was like, "Oh, we're looking for a show to watch." And I'm like, "Oh, have you guys watched Fallout?" And she says, "No." And I said, "Oh, it's really good. Like, if you don't know anything about the video game, that's okay. Like, you don't really need to know anything about it." But so she started watching it, and then I started watching it with her again just to rewatch season 1. It was just so good. Yeah. So I'm looking for this new add-on, and he plays Mr. Clips. Why aren't they having him in the credits?
It's gonna be buried under season 2.
Yeah, I have to go. Maybe if I go to season 2, it'll be there. Sorry, I'm just taking everything and putting it to a grinding halt here. This is moistness. But he's so good.
So good.
Oh, Justin Theroux. That's it.
Yeah.
So Justin Theroux has he's got the perfect hair. He's got one of those widow's peaks. So he's got the perfect hair. I mean, it may be a wig. I don't think it is. I think it's his own hair. He's got that thick head of hair, black hair. And so when they do him in that 1950s era, he just looks amazing, in that era. And then so they have him being dressed to the nines, he's just perfection. Whereas Walton Goggins is, is like a Hollywood kind of actor, so he's a little bit more relaxed and things like that. So it's just really, anyway. So she gets to Dana gets to do some of these sort of new characters, and the other new character is Macaulay Culkin's in it.
Yeah,
so he's playing a new character. And then there's another new character, but I can't remember the actor. I'd have to look it up. So anyway, great show. Highly recommend that show as well. I'm really loving it. And the first episode, I was like, I don't know, but then by the second episode, I was like, whoa, they're just right at it again. So I'm just gonna pull through a few of these. Okay, I've been going on about this show a lot.
I think this would be. I knew this would be your number one. I knew this would be your
This is
number
my.
one.
I'm super excited about the show. It's coming out in a few weeks, and I've been sharing a lot about it on Instagram. And I just reread all the books. So, like, this is based on a series of books by George R. R. Martin, like little novellas. So I bought. You can buy the
Mhm.
compilation, and the third one is so good. So this one will be based on the first book, and then I guess season
Okay.
2, the second, and then season 3, the third, and then if it does well, maybe George will write another one. But so it takes place 100 years before Game of Thrones. The designer is an Irish designer,
Mhm.
Lorna Marie Bogan, I think. Oh, I can't remember her name. I lost my notes here. I did something here and I can't find my notes now. Oh wait, is that it? No. I'm on my husband's iPad, so oops. Who is it? I will tell you who it
Yeah.
is. Her name is Lorna. Yeah, Lorna Marie. Well, she's got an Irish name, so Lorna O'Riordan is, or
Mhm.
Lorna Mugan is her name. Anyway, she's an Irish designer. Uh, it looks amazing to me. Like I have no notes really for it. I think it just looks really,
No, I
really
think this
good.
is this is a way we haven't seen a lot of Game of Thrones just be what they call them the street level. So no more
Yeah, the street
castles, right?
level, exactly.
We're out there on the pitch, we're out there in the
Hmm.
streets, and being able to see them a lot more broken down and a lot more realistic. Um, I'm interested to see the variety there because sometimes it can all just look like the same. So I think this is I think it's a 30-minute episode too, so it feels like we're really going to get in there and have a lot more character building with these guys. Um, Very excited about this. I think everything I've seen also looks really beautiful, um,
Yeah,
and
the
I'm
it's
so
it.
glad. Yeah,
I love the small folk. There's a lot more of the small
small
folk there.
folk.
I mean, we do
Yeah,
have the lords and
yeah.
the princes and stuff, but we're seeing a lot because yeah, we're outside of King's Landing. We're at this tourney, so it's gonna be very
No
gritty. Lots of
dragons.
break. No dragons. Yeah, there's no dragons at this point, so it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be more character driven, which will be kind of fun, right?
Yes, absolutely. And again, allowing these creators to play in a world we already have that we all love. Like, please, let's go and make a show um, that celebrates everything we love about this without being beholden to a formula that we know works, right? So they're gonna be able to break out of the which I also really love, but all of the talking and scheming in the hallways, the political
Oh
adventures,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love. But this is a whole
absolutely.
new way to do it and keep us fed.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next one I have is what is it? Oh,
It's the
Blade
Blade Runner.
Runner 2099.
Yeah.
And it is Helen is the costume is Helen Wong is the costume designer. I've had her on the show. It was funny because I
Mhm.
originally had her on to talk. I think I just had her on to just interview her a general interview, and then she told me she was doing the Penguin, and I said, "Oh,
Ah,
Helen, would you come back and talk to me about the Penguin?" She said, "Sure." So she came back and talked to me about the Penguin. Brilliant. And then I
yeah.
said, "What are you doing now?" She says, "Oh, I'm working on this new Blade Runner." And I said, "Oh my God, I have my Blade Runner box set, which I have right here, actually. It's funny. I have this, I showed it to her. I said, I have this Blade Runner box set here that Jack
If
and
you
I
want to
bought
borrow
like
it.
for Christmas one year. So I showed that to her. And then I said, "Hey, would you come back when you're doing
uh,
that?" And she says, "Oh, of course." So now every time I have her on, I just ask her if I can have her back again. And then
yeah.
she I'm really excited about that. I don't know anything about it. This is the only picture I could find. I don't even know if this is from the new show. It was just up on IMDb. So
Hmm.
they're being very secretive about that. And I think it's going to be on Amazon.
Great.
And then the next one is House of the Dragon. Blah, 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 blah. And this
So.
gentleman here, he was actually in the House of Guinness. So he was in a House of
Mhm.
Guinness and now House of the Dragon. He's one of the greens. But look at that armor. Isn't that beautiful? And that's Caroline
Absolutely.
McCall is
And
the designer.
again, we said like season two really stepped up the game on House of the Dragon. Um,
Hmm.
we got a lot more plot, I think, in season two. We got a lot more characters in season two. So season three is going to open up even more. I think they've really found their niche now, and I'm very excited to be watching this as well.
Yeah, so that's coming out, I think maybe in the summer. And actually, well, Jed, I'm hoping you'll come and talk to me about that show when it comes out. Now, I don't know when Silo's coming out. I love Silo. I actually had one of the embroidery artists who worked on Silo, he worked on House of the
Nice.
Dragon, come and talk to me. But the design on this, I love the design. I'd love to have the designer, and I don't have it in front of me, her name, because I lost my notes now. But really, it's funny. I've read the books on this one too, and they've done a little bit of a deviation from the books, but the reasoning for it is that it didn't really kind of work, in this particular world or what have you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've not watched it.
designer.
I've only heard good things about it. And again, all this sort of like near future
Yeah,
stuff I love. Again, like also with Murderball, I just want to shout them out as well. With that near
exactly.
future stuff is so well done, and that's one of my constants. Like, how would I do it? So I also could do a lot of thought
Yeah,
experiments on that. So I'm excited to see this, and I've heard that season 3 of Silo really opens up the world. So I'm interested to see more of what that has. So definitely on the list for me as well.
yeah. So really fun show. Like I said, I love the books. It's very close to the books. I think if you're a book lover, you will love it. But also, it's its own thing as well. And Hugh Howey, who's the
Yeah.
author, is one of the executive producers. What else do I have? The Boys, which is the same designers as Murderbot. And again, I did the whole anchor thing when I had them on. I said, "Hey, would you guys come back and talk to me about the Boys?" Of course, Heidi. So this is going to be the final season. If anybody's into this show,
And I know it's again one of those shows that they have a lot going on. So even though it just seems like superheroes, it is a gargantuan task.
oh, Kitty's. Oh, by the way, Kitty's made a comment here about the Dunk and Egg books, because what had happened was at the end of the third Dunk and Egg book, he says more adventures coming. Right? Of course, nothing's come. So
Yeah.
Kitty says famous last words on George writing another one. Heidi, she's laughing because we don't expect George to write another one.
No. Or the Winds of Winter, right? That's the other last one.
Yeah, the Winds of Winter. Yeah, and then Angel Lover says the next Dunk and Egg novels will be in the north. That's where they're supposed to be. They were heading north, but it never, hasn't gotten here yet. So see, that was years ago. They've been on the road for a while now. So anyways, the boys really excited about this one, the final season. It's just like, it's bonkers. It's crazy.
It's bonkers.
It is bonkers, but it's really fun. And so I really, really enjoyed speaking to the designers, because actually it's funny. One of the videos I did was on Elf, and she was the designer of Elf as well. So she worked a lot with Jon Favreau.
It's so fun to see people's trajectory from how they get to where they're going.
So so let me just say, so that's
and why I love this job is 1 minute you're working on Stranger Things, the next minute you're working on Shakespeare. Like it just is.
I know, it's crazy.
So many worlds
it's crazy. So yeah, and I just want to so that is that Laura Jean, and I had them in my notes. Sorry. Laura Jean does the super suits for this. So she does all of the, this is her specialty now. She does the super suits, and then Carrie does the regular, I don't mean regular people, but the non-super suit costumes.
Civilians.
Like the civilian costumes, exactly. Or the soups when they're out of their costumes.
Yeah.
So that's Carrie does that. And they're kind of like, I like it because they work kind of as a team together.
Yeah.
Carrie and Laura Jean do. So, because they were telling me, like, Laura Jean says when she started, she brought Carrie on, and then she's been like getting her to shadow her, which is a great way to kind of learn, right?
Absolutely.
And then do I have any more? Jeez, I keep going. There's just so much stuff I'm excited to see.
We could keep going. And from this year, we didn't even mention Hedda, which was beautiful costumes.
Yes. Yes, Hedda was beautiful. And that was nominated for a CDC award.
Yeah. The Bride.
And anyway, I have this. Yeah. So I have this. It's interesting because we had Frankenstein, but now this is like a new sort of like a more contemporary sort of, I think it's contemporary iteration. Maggie Gyllenhaal, I believe, is the director.
It definitely feels more like a noir.
Like a noir, yeah. And so Christian Bale is Frankenstein, and then Jessie Buckley, who I wasn't really familiar with, I had to look her up, is playing the bride. But it looks interesting, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely
so I put that on my list because I think it just looks interesting. And then of course
agreed.
Dune, this
Agreed.
Dune
Yep.
3, which I'm not sure if it's out this year, but it looked like they were hopefully getting it out this year. So that's my major list for the year.
Yep.
Oh, what about the Odyssey? Oops, there's a dog.
That was the one I was going to let. Yeah.
The Odyssey. Okay, what are your thoughts on that, Jed?
So this is Ellen Rosnick, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alan
So
Moroshnik, yes. I mean, yeah.
I thought you were going to bring up Odyssey, which is why I didn't. And this is one of those ones again. I am definitely going to go see, and it's on my list, but it's not. I don't have high hopes for it. I honestly, I love a sword and sandal movie, but I need a little bit more glamour, I think. So too much of an armor movie isn't for me. I think this is going to be a heavy armor boys movie, as I like to call it. We have seen a few shots of Anne Hathaway as Penelope, and Mia Goth from Frankenstein on it. But I speaking like how Linda Muir is going to be so authentic and werewolf. This is the opposite, right? We're not being authentic here. This is straight fantasy. It is,
well, and I looked it up, like it's supposed to take place 3,000 years ago.
Right.
And you're looking at it and I'm like, it doesn't feel like 3,000 years ago. It feels like, I don't know.
And I think that's what they want, right? They don't want to show you anything that is alienating. So they're giving you what you're familiar with and what is hopefully a new way. I think that in their new way, it's a little bit too brutalist and a little bit too cold. But again, it's judging out of context. I'm very interested to see how it works in the whole movie. The poster is a gold spine on the back of a helmet. I'm trying to think of the name of the soldier, but which feels.
Is it the Matt Damon character?
I'm just thinking like the name of the actual soldier style.
The character, yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know who it is meant to be. If it's meant to be Odysseus. And then it just feels like that is the most impractical thing on the planet to make and to wear into battle. But I'm along for the ride, and if they're going to show it, I will watch it. But you know what? Not my Odyssey. I think I love.
Yeah.
Again,
so it's funny because like Metropolis or Megalopolis was like canned, but I actually really love the design on that. I know you worked on it. Megalopolis.
We'll take it.
I mean, the design on that. But I mean, and Ellen. And I mean, to be fair, Ellen did Oppenheimer, but that's a very grounded movie, right? It's very grounded. It's historical. Absolutely. So this is, I'm not, I think what it is, I'm kind of like, is this like a 300? Like, is this like a 300?
I think it's going to be realistic. I think this is, Christopher Nolan's going to want to tell you this like macho story. But it takes away all the joy from a story that I don't want to watch it. Like Oppenheimer, again, beautiful, but I don't want to spend any time there. I have
to tell you, like I watched Barbie first, because I know they were doing this Barbie hammer thing, which was weird.
Yeah.
But I watched Barbie, loved it, and then I saw Oppenheimer, and I'm like, you know what? It was a good movie, but to me, it wasn't like I prefer Barbie.
I prefer Barbie, and I'm not going to watch Barbie again. Like,
I'm not much into biopics anyway. Like, so those are probably on the low on the totem pole for me. I understand it being an important movie. Yeah. But the costumes I thought were very good. But, I actually preferred the costumes in Barbie, though. I thought they were amazing in Barbie because it was a fantasy story, right? And I just thought that was really neat. And that's more my jam.
So well done. And I think that, you have...
And that was Jacqueline Duran, if I recall.
That was Jacqueline Duran. So you have Ellen, who I think is a meticulous designer who knows her tailoring. Like, I feel like, she's done Wall Street.
Well, she did the one about... the candelabra one. She did the Liberace one. She
Yeah,
won an
behind
Emmy
the
for
candle
that.
one.
Like that's outrageous. And she did like what's it? Striptease, not striptease, but the other one, the one with Romy, where she's like a stripper. I can't. And Kyle MacLachlan. It's on my channel.
Um, Showgirls.
Showgirls. She did Showgirls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
So,
again, she's an icon. Ellen's an icon.
yeah.
Um, uh, Here, I just feel like, again, there's no joy there. The last Christopher Nolan movie I loved costumes was Inception, and that is
Mm-hmm. And
uh,
who was the designer on that?
that was just blinked. That was I've worked with them.
There's too many.
Jeffrey
I don't even
Jeffrey
keep track.
Curlin. It was Jeffrey Curlin.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, his work is so good. Yes.
So good, so good. So
Mhm.
absolutely love him.
I mean, I love Batman, like the one with Heath Ledger. I love that design. I don't know who the
True.
designer on that was.
That I don't know
That
either.
was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
because that Gotham look, and then just the nurse, like just all the like the hair and the makeup and everything was just spot on to me. So yeah, no, so Ellen, like and I know she's taking direction from Christopher Nolan, so
Yeah.
it's not like by the way, and Fallout is the brother is Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of funny the way the two of them gone completely in different directions, which is
who
kind
also
of
gave
neat.
us Westworld, right? Like Westworld was
Yes,
Jonathan.
him and Lisa Joy, his wife. But anyway, so I appreciate him. I just don't know if that I would be rushing out to see it. Like I don't.
No.
It will be one of those things. I'm not. I know. I kind of feel bad because people were like, "Oh, but the Odyssey," and I was like, it's not really my bag. I love Brother, Where Art Thou, which is the story of Odysseus.
Yeah, and I'm thinking
like
more
that
of
version of it.
if anything happened on the way to the forum.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I did that. I did that play in high school, I did. I played one of the one of the courtesans.
Yeah.
So I got to be a prostitute in my teens. My sister was in it too. We were both in it. So it was really funny. I love that. Actually, that's we were talking about that because that's Sondheim. Stephen Sondheim did the music for that.
To me, that is due for a remake. So I'm here for.
They should.
I'm here for a cabaret remake. And I'm here for a from the way to the forum. Remake.
I know it's not politically correct like at all, which is sort of what would make it really funny.
Let's see how it happens.
Yeah, for
on
sure.
That note, on musical notes, I will say The Testament of Anne Lee is in theaters soon. I'm excited to see that. And then another nostalgic one for me is Practical Magic 2 is coming out.
Oh yes, Practical Magic. Yes.
And that is going to be Alexandra Byrne designing, who I also has amazing taste. But I looked up and like Judiana is the one who did the original one, and again that's so funny, like the career trajectory.
Oh, Markovsky.
Yeah, the trajectory of her career, and now she's doing Superman 2. It's just like I know
it's crazy.
It's funny that but I think that is such a defining.
I do wonder is doing like a big box office superhero film, is that like the height of a career? Like once you get to do a Marvel movie or an X-Men or like a DC or something, is that like the
I mean, again, it's everyone's goals are different. I think for the most designers I meet, the goal is just to keep working, right?
Yeah.
So we're so trained to just get the next job because it is freelance. And that's why everyone is like doing commercials and doing TV shows. You just say yes because you never know when it's going to be a no and you're not going to have a job. So that's number one. That's why also all costume designers keep working until they're 120. But I think once you get into
because they don't get paid enough.
Because they don't get paid enough.
Yeah.
And then there's a certain budget that comes with those films where you do get to have more of a major order shop, which something that's just really hard to do in this day and age, is to have the time and the resources available to you to custom make so many things. So I think as a designer, that is what to me would be the goal is to have that playground open up to you. So, but also I think once you get to design with certain people, you just want to work with your friends, or you want to work with people that you have a good working
Oh yeah.
relationship with. And I think that's a lot of what Judiana and my mind is blanking,
What's
but
that?
the guy behind Superman and
Oh yeah.
that director gets to do. So
Yeah.
kudos to them for keeping the machine going and having it done in a way that feels does have some joy in it still, right? Because I feel like with Superman and those movies, they kind of brought back the fun in all of it and the comic book and kept it in a way that is relatable and not being too cartoony again.
Yeah, and
Um,
really bright
we kind of
colors. I
we
love
lost our
that.
way for a while there, thanks to
Yeah,
Christopher
like that
Nolan and all.
muted, toned down color palette and everything. And no, I love that they've brought back that, that brighter palette. And there's a Supergirl coming out too.
True, and there's just an ease to it that hasn't been around for a long time, so that helps them make it more attainable too. And it's just a different generation, a different context. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think just getting to play is so exciting. That's what it's all
James
about.
Gunn, that's who the
James Gunn.
James Gunn.
Yeah.
Well, and he's kind of done this. It's funny with him because he's done both DC and Marvel. I think
Well,
he's like the only
as
director
right,
who's crossed
yeah,
genres, crossed
and then
over.
Judiana too. So she's doing, I think, the
Yes.
next Avengers and doing Superman. So she's
Oh,
going back.
wow. Isn't that
Just 'cause-
funny? I was going to say, by the way, Joanna Johnston, who I'd interviewed, it was absolutely lovely. And she's like, she's done like
an
so
icon.
many
She's an icon
iconic.
as well. Yeah.
She's an icon. And then so she did The Girlfriend, which was like, kind of a small, made for
Yeah.
streaming film or show, I should say. And I think it was interesting you were saying like an actor is always looking for their next job. I suspect, and I'm saying this, I should probably out of pocket, that she probably wouldn't have done it had she based on my
Oh.
interview. I don't think she would have done it had she known what she was up against. But the only reason why she did it is because Robin Wright,
Mm-hmm.
no longer Penn, was in it, and also an executive producer. But she indicated to me that doing that show was bonkers. But I did
Yeah.
say to her, "Or do you think there will be a second one?" And then maybe she'd be more prepared, because they've talked about doing one called The Boyfriend. So they had the girlfriend. Okay. Maybe they'll turn it. And she's like, "Oh, I kind of like that idea actually." If they do that, so they could continue The Girlfriend because it was an interesting premise. But then, or they could just do another one. It would be the Boyfriend. So, because it's from two different perspectives, like you kind of, it's good because you know that the narrators are not reliable. So it was an interesting premise, and I think it was based off of a novel. But it was funny to see her, someone who's worked on all these Oscar-winning movies, worked with Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg, and so on, to then do a streaming show and be like, what the? And having the big borrow, and we were talking about big borrowing and stealing. Yeah. She had to basically call in all these favors just to get stuff, right? Because of the budgets were so ridiculous.
And there's also like part of you that feels like I should not have to do this, but then there's also a part that thinks, why are we? The show must go on, so we're all going to be scrappy. We're all going to do it together because that's just in our nature. We can't help ourselves. That we're going to use everything at our fingertips to make it look as good as possible.
Well, and I think what you were saying is like, you want to work with your friends. So if you're friends with Robin Wright and she says, hey, Joanna, I have this project, like, would you be willing to come and support me and everything? You're going to be like, of course, you've worked with this person for decades. Right. And so then she said, that's the only reason why she went. And also Robin has connections as well. Like Robin's like, she's got a partnership with, Ralph Lauren or that type of thing. So she was able to. But
she has a 30-year career.
Yeah.
And and that's what's like, oh, you picked me out of all the people you've worked with. I did see an interview with Michelle Yeoh where she says, I just love helping other people's dreams come true. So when someone says like, I'm this a storyteller and this is my dream. And I got to work on a show this summer where it was actor, writer, producer, and it was her birthday and she did a speech and she was like, this is my dream. And I hope that all of you will be able to like live out your dreams too. And so that's part of this world that, we are, because we are playing pretend. It is like people's dreams are coming true every day in this world, and so it's very special to think about it in that way.
Yeah, and I know that so a movie like Michelle Yeoh was in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and
Yeah,
that was kind of like a kooky little
yeah,
crazy project that, a more established actor might have been like, oh no, I'm not going to do something like that. But she was like, oh, there's
yeah,
something here. I really
yeah.
liked it. By the way, she's going to be in the new Blade Runner, Michelle Yeoh. So
I
I'm
mean,
kind
and
of
our
excited for
let's say her
her.
costumes were the best in the Wicked movie.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of excited for her because she was quite big
Yeah,
back in like the 80s and
yeah.
everything. And then like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, that type of thing. And then I think she kind of maybe she went away, had a family, that type of thing. And then so now she's come back, and it's nice to see her on this wave of doing so well. So I'm really happy
Absolutely.
for her. Yeah. Well, anyway, we probably could wrap up because we've been here almost 3 hours. Oh my God. So, well, first off, I really hope you'll come back. I think we should do Rain. That would be so fun. I would love to pick
I tell you, anything you want me to
like
do, I
that.
will do.
Okay. Maybe I'll do a poll and see what people want to do.
Yeah.
So Jed, any other last thoughts before we end our live stream?
No, I'm just so glad that we got to, I guess, spend 10 years with Stranger Things and to get to see this. I get that this pastiche of the 80s and that whole genre being celebrated, for nerds being celebrated, right? And so all this
Of
is now
course.
just part of
Yeah.
pop culture. And then I think that there's been a lot of ruckus and entertainment, and now we're getting into this place of things like Sinners coming to the forefront, and it not being heavy IP or franchise driven, and getting to see people make their dreams come true, even
Mhm.
people you think are
I love, by the
successful
way,
love
that
it.
Ryan Coogler gets to own that. Did you hear that?
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. So
Like after a
it's
certain amount of
changing the
time,
whole.
it's his.
Yeah, it's
It's
25
amazing.
years. The rights go back to him, and
Mhm.
it's one of those things like it's this way for publishing and all this stuff too. So just making it equitable for creators to create. So
Mhm.
I think I'm glad to see people are so smart creatively and business minded.
Mhm.
So I'm curious to talk to someone like Amy Paris, the designer on Stranger Things, on her work with that, and then now having these opportunities to partner with heritage brands like I believe they did Esprit and Wrangler,
Mhm.
and then just having your costumes for sale at the Halloween store. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
whole new world that people are kind of navigating, um, as far as that goes, and what who has intellectual rights over these things.
Mhm. By the way, I was going to say something just to tie into the Stranger Things thing before we wrap up. Um, there's a great movie out called Life of Chuck, which
Mm.
is beautiful. I highly recommend it. It's based off of a Stephen King. What I thought was really interesting, I went and had lunch with my sister the other day, and I was talking about Stranger Things, and I said, it's kind of interesting, because there's a lot of inspiration from Stephen King. And she said, what? And I said, oh yeah, like the Duffer Brothers, they were inspired by Stephen King. Like a lot of, you look a lot of the 80s movies based like, Cujo or
Yeah,
Christine or any of those. A lot of them are using the same type of tropes, or Stranger Things is, and and also having these kid-centric stories like having these kid-centric stories. So, I think it's really interesting that Stranger Things came out, and I think he was a fan of it too, which was fun. But then now
yes,
he's coming through. Now he's having this resurgence,
yeah,
this
yeah.
wave of his movies, his shows being done. And then I love also that he's a big nerd. So he'll be like, watching a show that he really enjoys, like Pluribus or something, and then he'll
Yeah.
be tweeting about it like,
Yeah.
wait a second, I don't want to wait 2 years to watch this. I'm an old man. I'm not, I may not be around. So I kind of love that. I love that you got like a show like Stranger Things, inspired by
Yeah.
Stephen King and many of the genres of the 80s, and then him getting a wave, and then him himself being like this big nerd like we all are, and
And
loving to
a
consume
fan,
this,
yeah.
and a fan. Yeah.
Let me
And
consume
then
this.
his son, the Black Phone, his son is this wonderful writer now too, and creator. So anyway, I just like, that we'll have generations of new nerds of lovers of horror,
Yeah, and it just
or
keeps,
fantasy, what have you.
it would keep evolving. And I thought, okay,
Yeah.
now if we did an 80s Stranger Things, maybe we could do a 90s version. What would that be
Yes.
centered on? So I was trying to think, like,
Yeah.
what would be the genre we would pick for a 90s pastiche? I haven't come up with
Mhm.
anything yet, but I feel like
Well,
it's got to be like the rom-com was the biggest thing in the 90s.
it was, yeah, rom-coms were really, really big. Well, it's funny because when I was talking to Michael Wilkinson about Andor, one of the things I said that I love so much about the show is that, because, I grew up on Star Wars. I was like 10 when Star Wars came out. And, and so this felt like a Star Wars for us, like for us who grew up with Star Wars. So
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a kid's movie. It's an adult story
Yeah.
that is geared toward the young people who grew up. And he said, Heidi, he goes, yeah, that's exactly, like he said, I pretty much got it. What Tony Gilroy was trying to do there.
Absolutely.
So I love that. I love that we're able to have, oh, hi, Jackie. She's just joining us now. Hi, Jackie. How are you? We're just wrapping up, but we're really glad you came by. Happy New Year. I'm here with Jed.
Tell us your favorite movie.
We're just talking about shows and movies and stuff that what we're excited about, what we enjoyed last year, what is coming up this year. I think 2026 is actually looking to be a really solid year, because I remember at the end of last year I was like, oh, I don't know, because there's no House of the Dragon, but we ended up having some other Severance. So we ended up having some really, really good shows. So and sometimes you don't know about, there's these shows that come out like Begonia. I knew nothing about that.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
I just went in and saw it and I was like, oh my God. It's the same people who did that other one.
Eddington.
Well, Eddington was amazing too. I don't think it's the same director, is it? Eddington was amazing.
Yorgos
Have you seen it?
No.
Yes, Yorgos. Yes. Oh, is it Yorgos? Maybe it is. Was Eddington Yorgos?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was. I was thinking the other one, the one with Bella. What's it? I think it won an Oscar. Yorgos. Yeah, Lanthimos. Oh, Poor Things.
Right.
That was the one. That was the one. The design on that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
On
Incredible.
Poor Things. Yeah.
Incredible.
I think it's Bella Baxter. Bella
Baxter. Just getting to play.
Yeah. Anyway, so so I love these like shows that kind of come out of, you're like, they're kind of little surprises.
Yeah, surprises.
Oh, thanks so much, Jackie. Oh, thanks, Jackie. Jackie, actually, it was shorter. It's kind of growing out now, but I was thinking there's a character in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's The Laughing Knight, and the actor Daniel Ings, who's great. He's in The Gentleman. Anyway, he has this like kind of like salt and pepper curly kind of hair, but it's short at the back, and I was thinking of getting it done like that for my live streams, and then I'm going to get a little earring and then I can look like him, because there's really no females. It's kind of like he wears it like kind of curly and messy, like a pirate. He has a goatee. I'll do the goatee.
I love it.
But there's only a few female characters. It's a mostly male. It's like Lord of the Rings. I'm watching Lord of the Rings, and like my son's like, "Where are the women?" I'm like, "There's no women." There's Arwen, and there's Galadriel, and then the rest are men. Yes.
That's what you get.
Thank you. Well, anyway, okay, so I'm going to wrap things up, everybody. Thank you so much, and I hope you all had a lovely New Year, and I look forward to seeing you in future streams. We're going to be doing one on Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I think it's like the 22nd is the first one we're doing, because the episode airs on Sunday night, and then we're going to do it. So I'm getting together some of my friends, and I'm hoping Jed might come on, at least a couple of them, one or two, to talk about the show with us and the costumes, which look amazing. So anyway, and Jed, do you have anything you want to share before we head out?
No, just Happy New Year to everybody.
We've been here 3 hours.
Yeah, stay tuned. Tell us your favorite movie. Tell us what you want us to cover for the next year.
I'm going to do a poll.
Yeah, do a poll.
I'll see what people want to talk about. What's the thing? And House of the Dragon.
Yeah, and we can't shut up, so obviously. So we'll talk about whatever you want us to talk about.
And I have a video on Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming out, I did a final kind of thoughts of the show. So that'll be coming out, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday or something. So you can stay tuned for that. And anyway, wishing you all a wonderful, happy new year. I hope you have a great weekend. It's Saturday. I'm kind of like, I've been on holiday, so I'm kind of like a bit mixed up with what day of the week it is.
Yeah. We just float through.
It's Saturday, though. Okay, everyone, we'll take care. Bye. If you missed it, you can watch it on the replay. Okay? Take care.
Feel free to fast forward.